All right, folks, we're going to try this one more time. We were here last night. I did this to try to cover this Batmangate thing because everybody wants to know my opinion about it for some reason. I will just say this. Chris did reach out to me on the 1st of August, and I didn't realize what this thing even was. And so was what it was. But then now, come to find out, everybody's been interviewing him, everybody's been talking to him. I've watched the material, I've seen what there is to see. Now we'll get to the meat of it and see if there's anything there. Maybe there is, maybe there's not. Also, The Rock, once again, thinking that he's going to change the hierarchy in DC. Apparently, he didn't want to be in Shazam, first movie. Didn't think that there was enough space for Shazam to have his origin story and for Black Adam to have his origin story, because he said that it was fine for Shazam to have two origin stories in the same movie, but not Black Adam, because Black Adam was much, much more important than Shazam. Do you smell what I'm cooking? And I'm sure we'll have a lot more to talk about tonight as well, because we always do. We always get into a lot of other stuff. So hey, kick back, relax, strap in, because it's always going to be a good night when we're here in the Poindexter Lounge. Stay tuned. Let's go.
The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
I'm sorry, who are you again? Black Adam.
Oh, nice.
What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the one, the only. It's here for you. It's here for me. It's here for all of us. The Poindexter Lounge, not Point Dexter Lounge. We're not pointing at anything. It's Poindexter. Look at it. Poindexter Lounge. Poindexter Lounge. And I'm glad to be in the lounge with all of you tonight. Welcome on Monday going into Tuesday. Hope that you all had a wonderful day today. We will talk about my day here in a second. Yeah, hey, we're here. It's time for the lounge. It's time for Poindexter Lounge. And if this is your first time to the lounge, just know this. The Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where you and me and all of us can get together and talk about all the things that we love. Things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, superheroes, toys, and so much more. And if those are things that get you excited, then hey, you've found the right place. Right, Ezra? Right. And so we are glad to have you. All right. So please hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. And hey, become part of what we're doing here at the lounge. All right. We just love to have you. We're just glad to have all of you. So if those are things that get you excited, you have definitely found the right place, because that's what we're all about here at the lounge. Before we jump in real quick, I had an interesting day today. I fought bees today. Actually, not bees, yellow jackets. We were hearing a weird sound in one of our outside walls. And actually it was on the inside wall, but like towards the outside of the dining room, and it was like a crackling sound, and I was a little worried because it sounded almost like electricity, and so I was a little concerned. And then we realized that there were some yellow jackets going in and out of there, and so I thought that it was just going to be one nest that I was going to have to take care of. So I sprayed it all down and put some some pesticide and stuff in it and sprayed all that stuff. But then and then filled in the gap, because there was a gap there. So I filled in the gap with some foam and everything, did that. And then I realized that there was a hive in the ground just down from there by the living room. So yesterday I had I hadn't gotten really deep in that, but I sprayed it and stuff, and that didn't work. That didn't do anything. So it didn't take care of it at all. So today I was out there, and even though the crack was all filled in with foam and everything, they were still trying to get in the house. We were no longer hearing the crackling sounds. Those are all gone. Thank goodness. But I went out there today just looking at them and stuff like that. And man, I got stung twice. Once on my forearm. Probably can't see it, but kind of a little bit right there. Once on my forearm, and then once on the top of my thigh through my jeans. That sucks. That really sucks, man. When you, I was glad though that it was at least lower, upper thigh, inside thigh, right in, right in that space, that crawl space. Almost. And I was glad I was not wearing sweatpants. I'll just say that, because man, it hurt like the dickens. Fortunately, it wasn't the dickens that was hurt. But it was, man, it stung. And so I got ticked off. And getting ticked off sometimes is what it takes to actually get the job done, because I went out there, man, and I had this garden garden hoe, and I went in there, man, and I found the hole that they were coming in and out of, and I sprayed the heck out of it again. And then I took dish soap and water, hot water, and foamed it all up. And man, I poured it down this hole, and then I used that, because it was made the ground soft, and tore up the whole thing, got the nest out and everything. And I was like, rah, rah, rah. Tiffany said that I earned 2 man cards today, because of my manliness taking care of the Yellow Jackets, my fearlessness getting stung and everything else, but taking care of it in the end. And Enosh wins and they don't. There's a 10-inch deep hole in my side yard, but by the house, but that's okay because they're dead and I'm not. And so so that's a win. That's a victory for me. But that's how I spent my day today. Got some other stuff done, but how did you guys spend your day today? Let me know in the chat. But I do want to reiterate one thing. We got a guy who won this, and I want to get it to him, and I don't have a social media reference to be able to send him a message or anything. And I can't seem to find anything on him. But it's Dang's Thoughts. He's a member. And I appreciate his membership, and he won the Skeletor action figure. And so, Dang's Thoughts, man, if you, I put out a post, a community post, and still haven't heard. So Dang's Thoughts, he's got a channel. I even commented on one of his videos. I don't know, maybe if he's just kind of down, he's not, like posting anymore or whatever, but he won the Skeletor action figure with our last giveaway. And so Dang's Thoughts, I would really like to get this to you, man. So please message me at any one of our social media sites and do that. Right now, our next giveaway right now is Scareglow. Dude, this figure is awesome. Can I just say this figure is super sweet. Look at those hands, the extra set of hands there. He glows in the dark. He is awesome. This figure is, even if you're not a He-Man fan, this is just like an awesome figure, man. This is just sweet. So if you would like this, all you have to do is either be a patron, a member, or give a super chat of any denomination, support the channel in any way, and you're automatically in the running for our giveaways. All right, so do that, and it's very simple. All the links are in the description below. All you got to do is click on the Patreon link. You go there, you can join the Patreon for as little as $1. You can join the membership. Thank you to all of the patrons there as they go by. We have more members than we do patrons, but membership is as little as $2, and of course there's varying degrees there. And it just helps us out here at the lounge. It helps me to be able to do what I do, keep things up, pay for things as we need to pay for things for the channel and stuff like that. So I really appreciate it. And of course, everyone who gives super chats, you guys are awesome, and you really help by supporting the lounge, and so I'm very grateful for that. And then some of you like to bypass all of that and you say, hey, we just want to support you on a personal level. We don't want any money to go to YouTube whatsoever. There are links to that also down in the description. Also, keep an eye out here because I'm going to do another Hall of Fame here pretty soon. Putting the final members together of who's going to join the Hall of Fame here coming up. And when we do that, H-Barts will have some company in the Hall of Fame, as it were. And so H-Barts has been sitting there all alone in the Poindexter Lounge Hall of Fame. And you know what? All the Hall of Fame is just people who've been something very special to the lounge. We've got a lot of good friends who I've met, man, through doing this YouTube channel over the last few years. And so yeah, it just has to do with people that have meant something to me. And you know what? That's it. And eventually, everybody could say at some point that they could be in the lounge or in the Hall of Fame. But we like to honor a few different people. And then also, if you haven't already, please check out our store. We've got a store down there. The link is down there in the description, and you can check out the store. We've got all kinds of different cool designs and fun stuff that's in there that you can pick from. And I wear this stuff myself, and so I would definitely suggest it to you. It makes great gifts, and you can, and some of it's just nerdy stuff. It doesn't even say Poindexter Lounge. Some of it's just nerdy stuff, and you can wear those and have some fun with that. All right. Let's see. I am not allergic. Thank you, Ryan. I was just going to go to the chat here, but I am not allergic, Ryan. Yep. At least I am not allergic. That's things. I'm not allergic to most things. I'm only really allergic to a couple of things. And fortunately, nothing is like that major. There's like a medication. It's like first of all, it's like a rare medication. Nobody even uses it hardly anymore. I just discovered it when I was like about like 8 or 9 years old. It's like a topical medication that makes me break out in hives. And there's that, and that's about it. That's about it. I'm not allergic to any medications. I'm not allergic to anything. Apparently, I have a slight strawberry allergy, but it's not bad. It's like one of those things that like because I love strawberries. So when I eat a lot of strawberries, I kind of get this like rush. So it's actually like not bad. It's just that. So, okay. So I am going to run to the chat, and then we'll bring in a couple of people and have some fun tonight. It's a do-over from last night. Last night was we meant to talk about some of these topics, and unfortunately we didn't get to them because probably fortunately because Ezra Miller released a statement, and so we wanted to cover that and get that taken care of. And so tonight we will be talking about these topics finally. What's up, Dat Dude Vince? Good to see you, my friend. Let's see, Enosh Max just covered. What's up, Sneeze? Covered a possible spoiler for Black Adam movie. They just shown the who the villain will be and his figurine, so we can see if that is true or not. Interesting. Well, who is it? Who is it? You can't just say something like that. Who is it? You got to tell us who it is. What's up, Jake Lockley? Says, I am here. How do you like my mask? What's up, Jake? What's up, Kenneth? Says, hey, Enosh, how's it going today? A special happy birthday to James Cameron. Rewatched Terminator 2 on Blu-ray disc, not the awful 4K remaster. You don't like the 4K remaster, huh? They put out, and it was a great revisiting 1 and 2. I love Terminator for sure. Especially 1 and 2, but you know what? I got to be honest. Terminator 3, it's not horrible. It's just there, like it's not like it's the worst thing ever, but it's not great either. And especially after T2, it's just kind of disappointing, I think Terminator 2 really hyped up everything for everybody, that everybody really, really, really wanted a Terminator 3 that just delivered, and unfortunately it undid the things in Terminator 2 that everybody loved so much. And so what's up, Anthony Belcher? What's up, man? What's up, buddy? Get in here, man. Says, what's up, Enosh? How was your night? And I don't believe this Chris guy at all, and The Rock is always going to do what he wants. That's true. What's up, Kasali? Good to see you, my friend. What's up, party people? He says, Mask of Shy is here. Alessandro, good to see you, my friend. Always good to see Mask of Shy. Kevin Wagner, yes. Rest in peace, Wolfgang Peterson. Wolfgang Peterson, unfortunately, passed away today. It's sad. It's sad when we see we're just at that time, really in history, where so many people that have meant something to pop culture and to us in general are getting to those ages, and man, rest in peace, Wolfgang Peterson. Also, we did the story on it last week, and then it got weird, and that's the Anne Heche thing. And I haven't really talked about the Anne Heche thing because I don't know what to make of the Anne Heche thing. Do you guys know? I mean, like, what do you guys think of the Anne Heche situation? We were talking about it when it was just like, hey, it was an accident and, whatever. But, man, there's some weird stuff with that Anne Heche situation. For those of you who don't know, she was in a car accident. She drove her car at 70 miles per hour into a house. And then I don't know what to make of it, because they got her out of the car and they had her in a body bag, and the video from above seems to show that she bursts out of the body bag. I mean, it's like almost like out of something like out of a movie. And now they've said that like they declared her dead. So that it's because she's an organ donor, and I just don't know, man. That's some weird stuff, but I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts on that, because we haven't talked about that since then. So since kind of the weird stuff started coming out, but yes, Kevin, rest in peace, Wolfgang Peterson, great filmmaker for sure. What's up, Venomous Prime? What's up, Fourth 1000? What's up, my friend? Kinky Sphincter. Yep, nope, I wasn't late. I'm just sometimes I'm just like doing some stuff. But also, don't forget our sponsor. I almost forgot. Thank you. You need to be disciplined. I started early. Usually I'm going much later than it. So technically I'm early. I'm earlier than usual. But yes, please go to Bully Sticks Direct here on YouTube. There is the link right there. Go visit our sponsor, Bully Sticks Direct. Bully Sticks Direct, great company, great product that my dogs have been enjoying very, very much, and of course a sponsor of the channel, and I'm doing a lot of their social media stuff right now. So go to Bully Sticks Direct, all natural Bully Stick dog treats and chews. They're all natural and preservative free, no added hormones or antibiotics, and it's a single source supplier for quality and consistency. They got some really great stuff, all kinds of different products that your dogs will definitely love. Absolutely, my dogs have been absolutely just munching on this stuff, enjoying every bite. And you can go to bullysticksdirect.com, and when you go to bullysticksdirect.com, if you order, you can use the code Poindexter for 10% off your order. So make sure that you take advantage of that and do that. And also, if you could follow them, Bully Sticks Direct, over on TikTok as well. So follow them, please, here on YouTube and on TikTok, and that would really, really help me out as we are trying to help them out. It's my friend Greg. Greg is a great guy. What's up, Bat City Stuff? Says I'm excited for this one. Y'all do remember the Batmangate and the Bat embargo back in the day? I do. What's up, Sean C? Says Batmangate. We're better than this. This is a movie version of Deep State Tech Rat. I don't know, man. It's a weird story. It's definitely a weird story. So we'll get to it. What's up, Jared? Good to see you, my friend Draga. Hey, man, if you want a link, shoot me a message real quick on the Poindexter Lounge Twitter, and when I bring in a couple people, I'll shoot you a link. I did not make the music, but it is officially licensed. Peter Rabbit's Defender, what's going on, my friend? Daniel Martin, good to see you. You Do Suck is in the house. Ooh, Draga, maybe I definitely want to hear from you, because you think that... I have seen some positive comments from you about the Woz. So interested to hear your take on that. What's up, Elastor? Elastor says, howdy, Enosh. Howdy to you, my friend. H. Bart's in the house. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Always love to hear from H. Bart's. Dude, you got to come and hang out, man. You got to come hang out with us here. What's up, Zeno? Nerd Father Enosh. Yes. Tuesday going in. It is Tuesday. What did I say? Did I say Monday going into Tuesday? I don't know. My days are all going crazy. What's up, Hot Takes Tuesday? What's up, Nerd Man? You know what? Hey, send me. You know what? Yeah, man. I'll bring you in. Send me a message on Twitter, and I will try to get you in for sure. What's up, Aaron Pritchard? Good to see you, Aaron. Dork Knight is here. Jade is here. This is you need one of those Elon Musk flamethrowers. I know, right? For the bees, for the yellow jackets. God, I hate. Oh, no, man. Just yeah. I hear you, Jade. I can't stand stuff. I cannot stand rodents and pests and stuff. Little known fact. Here's your Enosh trivia. When I was a young man of about 17, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life, and we had a guy at our church who was an exterminator. very well off, man. Made a living, made a a mint doing that job. And he was looking for an apprentice to be able to turn his business over to one day. And I went down to the county. I got all the books. I got all the information. Did the whole thing. And decided that's not really what I wanted to do, because I didn't want to be in people's crawl spaces with creepy crawlies all over me. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't have a crawl space. No, we don't have a basement. We are a bi-level. Our house is a bi-level, so we don't have a basement or a crawl space. Um, but we live in Michigan, where most people have most people here have a basement. We don't have many crawl spaces here. Should have nuked it from orbit. So they would be sure. I know. I'm still worried that like the larvae are gonna somehow hatch and whatever. Yes, CJH, I see you, buddy. We'll be bringing you in just a minute, man. Let's see. I'll take it if you don't want it. Oh, the Skeletor. Well, you know what, Dark Knight. We'll see. We'll see. Alaster says, I spent my day loathing with my dad and got to eat some Subway. I got to visit a friend. Me and my dad. That's awesome. I like days like that. Let's see. I joined the stream Brian was holding. That's awesome. Who else we got here? Okay. Really? That's interesting. Breaking news: Superman and Lois to recast Jonathan Kent role as Jordan Elsis exit the CW series. That's interesting. Huh. Interesting. That's crazy. Let's see. Nerd Cosa Nostra, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Haven't seen you. Oh, really? Zabak? Or Zabak? Is it Zabak or Zabak? I can't remember how you pronounce it. That's interesting. Let's see. Todd Fair here with a $20 super chat. Thank you, Todd. Good to see you, my friend. Says, hey, Enosh, can you spend the next 25 minutes and 17 seconds talking about how great Marvel is? Well, that would take us through the first hour, and I don't think I want to do that, though. But I will say, Todd, I've been saying more and more, Marvel, as much as I love DC more as a company and as the characters and whatnot. I gotta say, man, Marvel's got their stuff together. They've got their stuff together, and I just don't know. I don't know what it's gonna take for DC to get their stuff together, and I continue to hope that that they do. I continue to hope that that they put some stuff together that finally sees some kind of positivity for things. But I don't know, man. It's a shame. It really is a shame that DC is taking so long to get there, but hopefully we do get there. But thank you, Todd. I appreciate it. Sean says, yeah, that Anne Heche situation is freaky. I'm going to bring CJH in. What's up, man? How you doing, buddy?
Hello. What is up?
Hey, what do you think of this Anne Heche thing?
It's crazy, and I'd rather not disappear if I talk about it.
That's great. Hey, Nerd Man. I don't know. I don't know if Nerd Man messaged me here. He may have messaged me over here on my other one. Hold on a second. Let me see.
I was on Max's stream, and we read an article about Mark Ruffalo saying that Secret Wars ends in a big bang. So I started thinking like fan theories that maybe the MCU ends in Secret Wars and begins with Galactus.
Really? Now that's interesting. That would be interesting. Well, maybe
Galactus is the last survivor of the MCU, possibly.
I just don't. Gosh, man, but it doesn't seem like that they would end it so soon with Secret Wars, though. I don't know. Do you think that they? I mean, it seems like they got a lot more story to tell, than just that. So I don't know, but that's interesting. Let's see. I don't know what your hot takes Tuesday. I don't know what your
Well, doesn't in the comics doesn't Beyonder destroy the universe?
Oh, dude, you are asking the wrong person about that. To be honest with you, because I'm just not the. I don't know that much about Marvel and like how that all stuff. I mean, I'm a DC guy, so
Fair.
So I wish
It's
I wish I
similar
did,
with
but
Crisis, though.
does it? Okay. Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know. What yeah. The video is crazy for the Heche thing. I'm not going to show the video because it's just it's not
Yeah,
it's not something we want to show. But yeah, you can find it very easy. It's out there. Todd Fair with another $10 super chat. Thank you, Todd. Says I contacted you on Instagram about the cereal. I didn't hear back from you. I messaged you back, Todd. I messaged you back, man, and I said, hey, send me your address. Did you not see my my response? I wonder if it was one of. I'm gonna do it live. I'm gonna see it right now. I'm gonna see it right now, Todd. I'm gonna see it, and because I think you, if I remember right, you contacted me on my personal one. Do. And where is it? Do. Maybe. Todd, I don't know, man. Ugh. Todd, if I screwed that up, then it's my fault. I'm sorry. But I could have swore that I messaged you, Todd. I could have swore I messaged you, man. Okay, well, tell you what, Todd. Why don't you do this, Todd? Just reach back out to me one more time, and I'll make sure to get because what I need all I need from you, man, is your address so that I can send you the cereal box. That's all I need from you. That's all I need. Let's see. An observer says, hey, Enosh, I'm unsure about this Chris guy, but Hollywood and WB have a history of screwing over creatives and stealing scripts. For example, what happened to Bill Finger? I guess we'll see. It's weird. Yeah, we're going to talk about that tonight, Observer. And I know it's, it's a weird story to kind of go back and forth with because, yeah, there have been situations where people have been screwed over by Warner Brothers, absolutely. And what are you what are you gonna do?
What do you think of the rumor that they're rebooting the DCU after the Flash movie, but with the same actors?
See, I don't think that they should do that. Hey, Thomas, there he is. Thomas Dang, there it is. Hey, okay, cool, man. Hey, Thomas, message me, bro. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, CJH. But yes, Thomas, message me, man. You won Skeletor, bro. Skeletor is yours, man.
Don't take it out of the box.
Also, by the way, when you guys message me about things that you guys get from the lounge, if you want us to sign it, or whatever, just let me know and we'll do that. If not, hey, it's not going to hurt our feelings, but I don't want to sign something.
Would that devalue it though?
Not for some people. For some people, like I just even Anthony Belcher. I mean, he's here all the time, and Anthony wanted my whole family to sign the statues, the boxes, of the statues that I got from the Transformers. He wanted me to do that, so hey, I was like, yeah, we'll do that. I'll absolutely do that. So, yeah. Hey, what's up, Sweet Sonia G? Good to see you, Sweet Sonia. Says, hey, Nash and everyone in the chat. It's been a while since I last tuned in. Hope you're all doing well. We are doing well, and it is good to see you. Chino, we are going to get into what Batgate is here in a second.
What they could do is destroy the Snyderverse, but bring back Darkseid. Darkseid is the last survivor.
You could. And now, see, here's what I say, CJH. I don't think if they're going to bring everything to an end, right, and reboot it.
Because didn't they like tease that at the end of the Justice League? That Darkseid had won?
No. There was more to that story, bro. They were they had the whole point was it was supposed to set up Justice League 2 and 3 because you had a Nightmare verse where Darkseid had been victorious in the end, but it was still coming. It was not there yet. It hadn't been realized yet, but then they were going to show that. Then it was going to be how the Justice League ends up beating Darkseid. So
that's fair.
Yeah, but you know, as far as them rebooting that, I just don't want them to do that. I don't. If they're gonna reboot it, just reboot the whole thing. Don't keep some things and
don't
not
Frankenstein it.
Yeah, I don't want the Frankenstein thing, man. I don't want that. I want it to be one way or the other. You know, if they're gonna go ahead with the Snyderverse, great. If they're not gonna go ahead with the Snyderverse, okay. It sucks, you know, as a fan, but
I still think they got something there with the Pattinson Batman, like a branch off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't think though that they're going to, man. The Pattinson thing is going to be its own thing. It's going to stand as a standalone.
But could the audience audience are probably sick of 18,000 Batmans if they bring in another Batman just to reboot?
I don't know. I don't think that. No, because I think that what it's going to happen is the Batman's going to be its own thing. I think we're going to see a lot of different things from DC, where we have DC products that are just like the Joker. The Joker is going to stand on its own, right? The Joker is going to stand on its own. The Batman is going to stand on its own, but then you're going to have like another continuity probably that is very kind of it's the the continuity between all the characters where we will have others. Unlike Batmangate from before, where they said Batman can't, we're not going to have other, Batman characters. We're not going to have, Batman, multiple different versions of Batman or multiple different versions of this character, that character, because it would be too confusing to everybody. I think that that's gone away now. And now obviously we've gotten many different versions of Batman. Think about all the different versions of Batman that we've gotten. We've had Batfleck. They're bringing back Keaton, maybe still, but Keaton's supposed to come back. We got Pattinson. You had the guy who's on Titans, and who else? There's somebody else. We had a version for the CW, kind of like,
I don't think it will be like confusing. I think the audience will just be sick of it.
I don't know, man. I think that remains to be seen. I think that remains to be seen. It could be if they overdo it and they don't do it right and they flood the market too much. Hey DL, hey man, if you want to join, man, I'd love to have you in tonight, man. I'd love to have you in tonight, bro.
I'd love to see like a Superman that's a standalone, like the Batman though.
Yeah,
like just on its own.
I don't know. I just want to see a good Superman, man. I just want to see them treat Superman with some respect. I just don't want to see I just don't want to see it become cheesy, or anything like that. That's all. That's all. All right. Speaking of which, we got a couple guys just popped in. Max's stream must have ended. So that being said, hey, I realized CJH, I didn't play any theme music for you to come in, man. I'm so sorry. I feel like I failed you. I have failed this city. You
failed this city.
I'm so sorry, bro. I am so sorry. But ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple guys. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from down under. He's a writer, producer, animator, does a bunch of cool stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Axel Draga. What's going on, Axel?
Hey, Nash, how you guys doing?
I'm doing well. What is that? What does that sound? Is that you? What does that sound?
The music? No, that's...
No. Something's like sound. That's not CJH. That noise is not CJH because he's got his mic muted. That was weird. Okay. It sounded like you were eating something. or it's your microphone. You got it.
Oh,
where's your microphone? Where's your microphone?
Oh, I'm in
your microphone sounds like it's rubbing on something. Is your microphone rubbing on something? Oh, is it on your?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why. Yeah, it was rubbing on your lapel. Yeah. Okay, so just watch that. All right.
Yeah.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, he's Justin. He's not so proper, but he is the Justin Proper. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Proper.
Do I sound okay?
You sound great.
My God, what a miracle.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I've been having problems for a while, so I'm very happy about that. But I'm glad I'm not alone. Axel,
Okay.
I did think it might have been like, a rapper that was like, like a gum wrapper or something that was scrumming against it. But
Yes.
yeah, okay. I might have mentioned that it might have been like something in his pants, but I don't know. I don't think that's
relax.
the case. Yeah, it's just like
No,
like when a
it's
lav mic is hooked up and it's like scraping against something. No.
Are you okay?
Me? Oh, am I okay? No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Are you okay?
I ask myself this every day. I really do. I am going to be seeing Sammy Hagar 1 week from today, so barring any disasters. Yes. So I'm very excited about that.
Nice.
I really am. I really am. Like I've been waiting for this for a long time. Have you seen Van Halen live or Sammy Hagar?
I've never seen Van Halen live. I want to so bad. I wanted to so bad. The closest I ever came was I did see David Lee Roth live, and honestly, David Lee Roth was amazing live.
Really?
When I saw him, and it was.
What's this?
This was years ago. This was like early 2000s.
Oh, that awkward. Period.
But you know what? But you know what's weird about that, Justin, is when I saw him, I literally told my family, I don't know if this is going to be any good or not. I just want to go see David Lee Roth because I just want to be able to say that I saw David Lee Roth. And amazingly, he had an amazing show. It was great. The show was awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Around the same time, Van Halen wasn't doing so great.
Yep.
No one really noticed. No one really cared, but there were some issues. But, it all kind of, worked itself out. Eddie got clean, and those last few years were amazing. Yeah. But, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing Sammy Hagar because it's, what other choice do I have? But
but Sammy's amazingly talented. I mean, so.
Oh yes, as is David. I know we joke about it all the time, but enough Van Halen talk.
Again, Hot Takes Tuesdays. You're welcome to join, man. You just gotta send me a message or something.
I saw this really cool image of concept of how the power suit could come in play.
What is this?
That's Lex Luthor.
In the Krypton suit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Is this a comic thing? Because I don't remember Gene Hackman getting into this, or maybe it's been a while.
No. I mean, Lex has always has power suit.
It's been like since.
Yeah. No, it's like the Kryptonian.
Oh, okay. I've only watched the movie, so
Well, I mean, no, Lex has had a power suit since the 80s. I mean, and actually maybe the late 70s, like during Super Friends, he had a purple and green power suit that helped him to be able to have different powers and fly and fight Superman and stuff like that.
And
but
I never understood why he never had a helmet.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't understand that either.
Yeah,
but...
granted, it's been like 17 years since I've seen Super Friends or the later Superman movies, so my memory could be incorrect.
Yeah. But I mean, that's Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor, right there, which shows again that if people would have waited to see, I think that people would have gotten the proper.
And in Project Justice League, made by the Four Nerds, like they have Lex in that power armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it just goes to show that there was something there with those early DCEU films. They just never got a chance to really prove it, I guess, or they rushed some things.
Yeah.
Here's the comic.
If you want to send it to me, Brothers Web, you can send it on Twitter or whatever, and I'd be happy to take a look at it. What's up, Zentech? It's always good to see Zentech. You are always free to, if you're free to join us, man. I'd love to hear from you as well. He says, I'm not a huge fan of Lex in the suit. He's badass enough without physical strength. Yeah, I get it. I could take it or leave it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to have him in the suit, but it's kind of cool to have him in the suit every once in a while. What's up, Jason?
I get it.
What's up, Jason? Good to see you, man. Okay.
I got an image here.
What's this? Oh yeah. Well, that's one of the suits. Yeah. It's always purple and green these days, so it's pretty cool.
Why does he look like Thanos in that?
All right. Before we jump into Batmangate, because everybody's asking what Batmangate is, so it shows me that not everybody knows what Batmangate is.
Isn't it satire?
I have not heard of Batmangate.
So we'll get into Batmangate in here in just a second. But first we'll get into something a lot less controversial and a whole lot more awesome. And that, of course, is our Betty White quote of the night. Are you ready for the Betty White quote of the night, ladies and gentlemen? Let's go. Okay. Let's see. Last one that we read said.
Last one we wore.
Well, you'll see it. Well, because I was accidentally reading the first line of it at the same time. The last one that we read was, "I thought you wore too much makeup and were a slut. I was wrong. You don't wear too much makeup." But tonight's Betty White quote of the day is, "I know I look square, but I'm like my father's tractor. I take a while to warm up, but once I get going, I can turn your topsoil till the cows come home."
Wow.
Betty White. That's what I'm talking about. Betty White, man.
Oh, man. She wrote
turning
all
topsoil.
These? That's incredible.
Betty White turning topsoil, man. Tell me you wouldn't. Back in the day.
I mean, anytime she was alive, really.
Yeah, Betty White was something else, man. Absolutely. What's going on here? I'm trying to see if Nerdman is trying to join. But I don't see him. He mentioned it, and I told him yeah. Then okay. Anyways, we'll see who joins. Okay, so here is the deal with Batmangate. For those of you guys who are not aware of Batmangate, this thing started a little while back. There is a guy named Chris Wozniak. He worked at DC Comics.
And he was.
And he was what?
I don't know. Just trying to make a pun.
Oh,
was.
This is Chris.
That's
right
all
here.
I have.
This is Chris right here. I got nothing personally against Chris or for Chris or whatever, man. But he did work at DC Comics. He was a penciler, apparently. And back in the 90s, Chris submitted via email a pitch, an unsolicited pitch for a Batman movie. Okay? And in his Batman movie, there were some very similar beats to what has now come up as The Batman. That movie, The Batman. Chris is now claiming that they stole his pitch, changed a few key things, made it their own, that Matt Reeves has been lying when he said that his treatment for The Batman was a completely original take. Said that was not true, that he's been lying, that the people involved knew it, that they took his pitch. Now, mind you, he submitted this via email back in the 90s and then subsequently sent it to them several more times in various different forms, I guess, whatever, changing the name of the movie, and things like that. So now he claims that they stole his idea. It was for a Riddler. And we're going to go through the various plot points and things that are kind of in there. You can actually go to his YouTube channel. He's got a YouTube channel that he just came out with a while back, I think. It might have been up for a while. But I am going to...
When I first heard about this, I was under the impression that people were accusing Matt Reeves of stealing from Ben Affleck's script.
No. That's the interesting thing, right?
Well, let's be honest here. Hollywood is never. There's no one's ever stolen an idea from someone. That's just preposterous.
Yeah, Star Wars isn't Flash Gordon.
People have stolen an idea from me, which is very true, and I'm not happy about it. But at the same time, at least I don't have to do it. I could just watch it now. But
I just found out the other day that most of Star Wars music is stolen.
Well,
no! Do not throw John Williams under the bus.
No.
Well, there's a
video.
There's a video going around that insinuates that there's music that, and I've listened to music.
This blasphemy?
I've listened to the music. There's some parts that seem to there's a difference between stealing something, though, lifting something, and being
There's
inspired
one in
by
particular.
Music is tricky.
The part, specifically the part right where the Death Star is getting ready to blow up, and you get the hits, the orchestral hits, the bump, 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 all those, and it seems like it's gonna last forever, and then all of a sudden it blows up. There's a piece that was written before that seems to be similar, but it's not.
I mean, there's a video that John Williams borrowing from other composers.
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about, or?
Well, it's not so much that. It's just it's very similar. It's very similar in sound.
I put the video in the private chat.
Yeah,
if Justin wants to look at it.
I would say it's worth a watch. It's very interesting. But hey, we've got another guest, ladies and gentlemen. I've been loving having this guy on. I've been loving his takes. Go support this guy. I love it. The music was right at the end. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the Godfather, the prime Godfather. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Prime, the Godfather. Welcome to the Poindexter Lounge. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? What's up?
Good to have you in here, man, tonight. Did you have it? I know that last night I told you I was going to send you those videos, and I totally forgot. Did you get a chance to catch up on any of that?
I just got done watching them.
Okay.
So pretty much it's fresh in my brain.
Awesome. That's
So,
even better.
I would say this. I believe him.
Do you?
I believe him. I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you why I believe him. Because on the first film, when they did the actual comparison of the actual movie and his script together, there's one part that's on there. He did his script in 1990.
Wait, what are you talking about?
The first one, the one that's 13 minutes long.
Yeah, so here are his videos. So that's what I got up here. Chris Wozniak, who has made this accusation about Warner Brothers that they stole his movie. This is his YouTube channel right here, Full Blown Psychosis. Yep. He's got 2 videos. We've got 3 videos, but only 2 that have to do with this. And you can see there. There's like a 12-minute one and a 8-minute one. We're not going to watch those videos today. If you have not seen those videos, I would say go watch those videos. He makes his points. He says like what his thoughts are, and like why he thinks that they stole his movie. But that's where it is, and that's why I put it in the chat. Actually, I put it in the chat, the link that you can go and watch Chris's stuff, because I want everybody to be able to make their own mind up. Everybody's going to have a different opinion about this and different reasons why, and I got a list that we're going to go down some of the things that he says are similar, and then everybody can make their own take on what they think. But Prime, go ahead, man.
No, what I was saying is that there's some key things, because when he did the demographic on the Young reboot, that part right there stood out to me. And then on the 13-minute one, when he stated that, because they actually changed it. They changed it for, it says in his script, not his script, the Matt Reeves script, is that a lot of this stuff was online, how they figured out, but they changed that. So I'm like, yeah, because I'm thinking like, how in the world, if he did it in 1990, if it's not, how would they, know it is online or whatever like that? So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So they changed it up. So, but then when you look at the, as a matter of fact, I don't know if I can actually share this to you, but it's right here, so everybody can actually see. It's this part right here that really stands out. Hold on, let me share the screen. I'm gonna let everybody see.
Yeah, share the screen.
All right, let's see this. I want to have a look at the original script as well. So.
Here's one of the other things that throws me off, and I'll finish this up. Is one of the problems that I have with the situation is that he has an Indiegogo account set up.
It's in there, Enosh.
And a Patreon, and he's trying to raise $3 million. Now, even I asked my own son, when I was telling my son about this the other night, he's 17 years old, and I said, Landon, if you felt that a company plagiarized your script, took your story elements or whatever to make a Batman film or whatever, what would you do? And he said, well, I would try to sue him. Right? If I had proof that they had done that, I would try to sue them and, make my case, right? That, they stole my ideas. And I said, okay, well, here's the problem. Chris, and this is the problem that I have with it, Prime, and I'll see what you're putting up there in a second. But the problem that I have with it is that a lot of these story elements, and I actually have a breakdown from from an article that actually goes point by point, and we're going to go through that to say why these things don't make sense. There's a couple of them maybe, but the reality is I feel like a lot of the stuff that he's talking about is like basic Batman stuff. Like when you say Gotham is thrown into chaos, Landon even looked at me and went, when isn't Gotham in chaos? Isn't that the whole reason why they need a Batman?
I mean, pretty much every Cape Crusader, or
like
is that.
Yeah, or like James Gordon and the Batman have to work together and put their detective skills together to undo the villain's scheme. Okay, that happens like all the time, so it's stuff like that. That and the fact that, like I said, he's trying to raise $3 million, and Landon goes, oh, so he's trying to get legal fees to take on Warner Brothers. No. He does not want to take on Warner Brothers. He doesn't want to do anything like that. He doesn't. He said he just the other night he was on Sil Abdul's channel, and they interviewed him, and he talked about how he does not. It's too big. You can't fight Warner Brothers, which is just not true. You can fight Warner Brothers if you have the ability to, if you have the money and you can get the right attorney to fight something like that. You can fight that. And he's like, no, it's too big. It's too much. No. I want the $3 million from fans who believe in me, who believe that I should have gotten compensated, and I'm just going to pocket the money.
Well, there's is that what he says?
Yeah,
the video?
That's absolutely what he says, dude.
See,
That's
I didn't see the
says.
seal. I didn't see the seal interview. I did not see that.
Yeah.
But,
That's, and so Sil, I feel was trying to be nice. And they also had the script doc on there, who gave him some pushback on a lot of these things. And the problem that I had was Chris didn't have answers. Chris avoided answers. Actually, Max, if you're watching, dude, I would love for you to come in and give me those timestamps of your video. We might look at Max.
And also Max,
because
Max,
Max did a
tell
great
Ethan
job.
and Skyler to,
But
Max did a great job actually breaking that down, because Max even pointed out a couple of times where they asked him specific questions and they were like, hey, what about this? What about this? And he kept avoiding the real hard questions, that's it. So what is this now?
Okay, so these are basically, this is what stood out to me on the changes.
Mm-hmm.
His plot point, and then what they did, and the changes that they actually did. So this part, now I'm gonna say this: I believe him, but at this point in time, it's not going to really make a point, because if you did this in 1990, that's 22 years ago.
It was in the 90s. I think it was like the mid to
No,
late
no, no,
90s.
90s.
No, that's
30,
32 years
32
ago.
years. I'm sorry, bad math.
back in the 90s.
So 32 years ago. So with it being 32 years ago, I'm thinking in the back of, I believe him, and I'm gonna say this: what actually happened to his script? He probably had his script. He probably sold his script to Warner Brothers.
He didn't.
He did.
He did not. He did not sell his script to Warner Brothers. That's the whole point. Is he emailed it to them? They never gave him confirmation that anybody actually even saw his email. Prime.
He emailed them in 1990.
No, it wasn't 1990. It was the late 90s.
How did they even
later,
have emails
okay.
back then?
So close.
Dude, they've had
20
email for a lot longer than that, Axel.
I was gonna say
Email was
1990. I don't
Not
know.
19. Well, there were people who did have email in 1990, just not everybody.
The internet, but it wasn't.
But Prime,
Back
he
in the
admits
90s,
he fully admits that he has no confirmation that they saw his email, that they didn't acknowledge it, and this is the things that Max was talking about, that like it could have gone to spam. Like, you can't prove that somebody saw it. And even these things, and I got another detailed list, Prime, that we're going to look at here in just a minute.
All right.
But like, okay, so if you say, okay, so here's a Batman story, right? If I tell you, Prime, I'm writing a Batman story, and my Batman story is that Batman at the end of his career, but you're like, hey, I'm writing a Batman story too, Enosh, and you come on with Batman at the beginning of his career. That's because there's only so many stories you can tell with existing IPs. It's not like I created an IP and then you came out with the same exact thing that wasn't already an existing thing. This is Batman. You're only going to be able to tell so many stories. It's either going to be at the beginning, the end, or the middle of his career. You don't really have like other choices, and then yes, there was a criminal banking conglomerate, and here it was an organized crime syndicate. There's always, like, he talked about, like, well, I put corruption in, that, like, everybody's on the take and everybody's corrupt in Gotham. Yeah, well, so did Christopher Nolan. Did Christopher Nolan steal your script too? You know, I mean, that's a regular Batman thing, is that everybody is so corrupt. That's why you need Batman, because you can't trust the police, right? Like there's Commissioner Gordon is because that was the other thing too, is Commissioner Gordon is the last good cop left. Yeah, usually he is. Did anybody watch the show Gotham? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's Commissioner Gordon inspires the police department to be good, you know? Saying that, the commune is there's a commune that's Riddler's surrogate family, and here it's an orphanage. Okay, but he has to be raised somewhere. You know, I guess some of these things, like I said, and I have a list actually that talks about this, Prime. This is my only issue with this, is that it's an existing IP. It's the same thing as if I write a Star Wars story and like you come back to me and you go, well, but Enosh, like I had Luke Skywalker, training Jedis. And I'm like, well, so did I. But there's only so many things that Luke Skywalker can do.
Axel makes a great point in the private chat. James Cameron's original script for Spider-Man had organic webbing. Does that mean Sam Raimi stole from James Cameron?
Organic. Oh, okay.
And that James Cameron.
I'm not saying that it's
sue?
impossible. Look, I'm not saying that it's impossible. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's like, I'm just saying that, like, the things that he says that he has proof, it doesn't come across as proof. It comes across as...
He's saying it very definitively. Like, he's saying, no one can have that, or no one can make this.
Well, here's the problem, though. Like, this is why, with the idea I had, and the reason why it wasn't directly ripped off, was because I submitted it to the WGA, the Writers Guild of America, which legally will protect you. As long as you keep up with it and everything. That actual story was specific, whereas the idea that I had was not. It was more out for interpretation of a very specific idea. I'm not gonna go over it because it's not like that's not what we're talking about. But, if this is true, he should have submitted that to the Writers Guild of America and kept up with that, and then maybe he would have had a legal case for it.
Well, and that's things like they didn't ask him for a script. He just submitted this idea to them, and it just sat there for 20 some odd years.
Yeah, there's a reasonable assumption that as you were saying earlier, could have ended up in the spam folder. I don't know if that existed back then. Maybe it did. But
it did. You guys are that young that you guys don't remember that there was email in the late 90s?
We gotta ask William.
Look, man.
I mean, yeah, I'm not William being like, hey, in the 1800s there was email,
Look, I had internet, but it was very slow internet, and I didn't have an email when I was 4.
Right.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't.
Bro, I wasn't even born in the 90s.
I wouldn't expect him to have...
You weren't born in the 90s?
Who?
No. Why the fuck do you still think I'm in fucking school gear?
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You were born after 9/11. Oh, no. Oh, I'm getting old.
Okay.
What I was saying is that even in the 90s, even in the 90s, the way it's so sufficient now, it wasn't efficient like that back then. So what I'm saying is, I'm not trying to say that this guy's a scam artist. To a point, I believe him, but his paper trail, that's 30-some years ago. So I wouldn't expect this man to actually keep his receipts from his script. I wouldn't expect him to keep that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
does
a long
he still
time
have like a 30-year-old email?
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's a long time.
Yeah,
so I mean, just to keep and depending on where he sent that email from, could have been AOL, could have been sbcglobal.net, could it be goddamn
Hotmail?
By the way,
hot
I
mail.
have put a poll in the chat for you guys to vote on of whether or not you feel that he was. Here's what I think. Maybe I don't think that Chris is a liar. I don't think that Chris is necessarily look. He could be. I know that there's some people. I know that there's some people in the chat. I don't know what that was. I know that there's.
Hey, Axel, you might want to mute it for a moment.
Yeah, Axel. I don't think that I know there's some people who think that he's just being a con artist and and Jade, he could very well be a scam artist. He could very well just be trying to drug up some stuff. I kind of feel like he really thinks that they did this to him, but I also think that like if you're going to make an accusation about that, you have to have definitive proof that they stole it, that they took exactly what you did, not that they took something similar and then changed it to be the opposite.
Yeah,
And that proves that they took it. You know what I mean? Like if it's the opposite, doesn't that show that like they didn't? You know what I mean? So I'm going to take this down, Prime. But did you have anything else with this?
I'm about to get rid of it anyway. Hold on.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to share this now. This is This is
if you don't mind,
yeah.
I would also like to add that when I was interning for somebody for a producer, they were involved with a project where she was involved with the script and had worked with these other guys, and what we had to do was look for every single moment that was similar or close to it. And if it was over a certain percentage, I think like 50%, then legally she could sue, or something to that degree. So there is some merit to what this guy is saying. But if he didn't take the legal responsibilities for it, he has absolutely no case, and that's. You just got to take your L. Maybe that's why he's asking people like, "Hey, I just want $3 million from you guys, the fans." Why? I don't understand that idea. If what I'm hearing is correct. What's that?
Has the script been released to like the public on? Is it online or something?
No,
both of them.
He is not. He has not actually released the script. It's like a script treatment. It's not even a script. That's the thing. It's like it's a pitch. It's an idea.
So it's just some notes.
It's just some notes. It's just an outline of like what he thought a Batman movie should be.
Maybe he's just like kind of maybe he's kind of jealous. Because I imagine that not the same people at Warner Brothers then are there now. A lot of them. So
yeah. Well, the guy who is still over the movies is still the producer over the movies. So that is still the guy. The guy that he sent the email to is still the producer on the Batman.
Okay.
But so let's read this because after I read this is where I kind of was just like, yeah, I'm having a hard time believing that like this actually happened. And I do know that this has happened before. It has come out in the past of various things about scripts that were stolen or changed and they have been so I'm not saying that it's impossible. So even Chris, if you're watching, I'm not, this is not like a, hey, I'm calling Chris out. This is something that's been in the news and a lot of people have asked me my opinion about this. And so, but this was interesting. So this was by Emma Rose Fox. And she says, no, Matt Reeves did not plagiarize for the Batman. Former artist for DC Comics alleged that the hit film stole a pitch from the 90s. The Bat, the Cat, and the Fox debunks his claim. And we'll just... So Mr. Reeves originally used this formula Oh, here it goes. When it comes to blockbuster franchises, director Matt Reeves has a formula for declining any potential offers. This reminds me of actually Weird Al Yankovic. Weird Al Yankovic, he says he gets, people all the time who are like, hey, here's an idea for a parody, whatever. Here's an idea for a parody. And he will not listen to anybody's ideas for parodies. He will, he won't listen to them. He won't hear them. He'll stop somebody because he doesn't want anybody to ever be able to come back and go, oh, you took my idea for that parody, even if it was a parody. But Matt Reeves has a formula for declining any potential offers, insists on doing the story he wanted to do. The studio's franchise development apparatus be damned, per Variety. Mr. Reeves originally used this formula when offered to helm the second installment of the Planet of the Apes reboot trilogy. This is another reason why it's weird that he would do this, because he says, I was initially excited. This is Matt Reeves when he was doing the second installment of the Planet of the Apes trilogy. He says, I was initially excited, and then I saw the studio's outline, and I said, this isn't really the story I would want to tell. I don't think this is for me. To my shock, they said, no, wait, just tell us the story you want to do. I said, I don't see what the point of that is, because you'll probably try to get me to do some version of 20% what I want and 80% of what you want. And I'll have to do a big showdown at Candlestick Park or something. He says Mr. Reeves ultimately won that showdown. His two films with the franchise grossed over $1 billion at the box office. When Warner Brothers approached him to direct The Batman, Mr. Reeves tried to use that formula again. He found himself penning an original script for an established franchise deja vu of sorts. Despite his well-known penchant for original material amidst a landscape of genre adaptations and his humble personality, Mr. Reeves has a few detractors. Former DC Comics artist Chris Wozniak made a YouTube video alleging that Mr. Reeves' screenplay stole several critical plot points from a storyline he pitched to producer Michael Uslan in the early 90s. After The Bat, the Cat, and the Fox reviewed these allegations, Mr. Wozniak, that's this website, The Bat, the Cat, and the Fox. Mr. Wozniak's accusations of plagiarism are not credible. In addition to the lack of evidence regarding correspondence in Mr. Wozniak's video, at the timestamp of 25 seconds, Mr. Wozniak relies on hearsay, which is not admissible in civil court, where accusations of plagiarism are dealt with in the legal system. The allegedly copied plot points are commonly found across interpretations of the Dark Knight's story. Below is a breakdown of Mr. Wozniak's video and the evidence that rebukes his allegations. And here we go. You guys ready for this? Because they did a really good job of going point by point. I just want to make sure that everybody is good in the chat. Everybody ready in the chat? Let's see. What are you guys saying so far about the about what you guys think? So, whoops. So far the poll is, because I put in, do you believe Chris Wozniak's script was stolen? Not that he believes it, but do you believe that it was stolen? 33% says yes, and 67% so far says no. All right, so here we go. Everybody with me. Here we go. And this is talking about his video where he explains and makes his point. So he says at 1 minute and 4 seconds, Mr. Wozniak alleges that a line from the Batman referring to Gotham City as hidden in chaos steals his storyline's premise. At the beginning of the Batman's career, Gotham City is in complete chaos. That's what his pitch just said. At the beginning of the Batman's career, Gotham City is in complete chaos. Well, there's a line in the Batman that says that Gotham City, it refers to it as hidden in chaos. They retort here, chaos is a general term used to describe Gotham City. In the 2019 online game Justice League Dark, its main open world zone is called Chaos Gotham. Several entities in Batman lore, all of which Mr. Uslan was not involved in, use the term chaos in their titles. The 2001 video game Batman Chaos in Gotham City and a book promoting the Lego Batman movie both use the term in their titles. So Chris Wozniak is saying, well, I said that the Gotham City is in chaos, so they said it, so it obviously means that they took it from mine. There's been many, many, many things that have referred to Gotham City as being in chaos here. Video games, books, all right? Number 2, at a minute 18, Mr. Wozniak alleges that a plot point from his storyline, both the government and police force have been overtaken by organized crime syndicate causing complete systematic corruption, is used in the film without credit. The retort here is, corruption is a recurring theme throughout Batman lore, and I agree with that. Entries such as comic book series The Long Halloween and the 2016 video game Batman, the Telltale series, tap into this theme. Is Jeff Loeb copying Mr. Wozniak, distributors of Telltale Games? And I would also say that, corruption in the city is also something that is seen in the show Gotham. It's seen in Christopher Nolan's movies. It's even seen in the 1989 Batman movie. I mean, did Chris Wozniak steal it from Tim Burton? Because there's corruption all over the 1989 movie. So there's that. Number 3, at a minute 31, Mr. Wozniak alleges that his plot point, all of Gotham City's top cops are renewal fund, is copied. All their top cops are part of the renewal fund. Or somebody just jumped in. Who just jumped in? What's up, Devin?
Yo, what's happening, man?
Good to see you, man. We're just going down this list beat for beat of what is in Chris Wozniak's allegations about his pitch, and then the retort from this website called The Bat, the Cat, and the Fox.
Word.
And, so we're just going down that. So, again, number 3, at minute 31, Mr. Wozniak alleges that his plot point of all of Gotham City's top cops are part of the renewal fund is copied. Mr. Wozniak provides no evidence that he came up with the renewal fund. Instead, he offers an original statement. All of Gotham City's top cops are on the take, edited with the term renewal fund in it. Again, one of the biggest points, like plot points of the Batman series in general, is that James Gordon is one of the last good cops left. He's one of the last cops that are not on the take, and that it's him who inspires. That was one of the whole points of the Gotham TV show, Good, Bad, Ugly, whatever you thought of that show. That was one of the biggest points, was that he was going to be the inspiration for the police department, for him to become the police commissioner. So there you go. Number 4, at a minute 31, Mr. Wozniak alleges that the film copies his plot point. Protests against the corruption, riots, and looting are everywhere. Martial law is implemented. Well, The Dark Knight Rises in 2012, director Christopher Nolan illustrates the former sentence, particularly through the arc of Anne Hathaway's Selina Kyle. In Gotham City's home country, martial law was established in Article 1, Section 9 of the U.S. Constitution through habeas corpus before Detective Comics was founded. There's been several stories where martial law is implemented in Gotham City. In Christopher Nolan's movies, particularly, but then also because it's part of the storyline of what is it? What is that storyline called? No Man's Land, right? No Man's Land. And so that's also seen in the Gotham TV show. So just because Chris Wozniak says, well, martial law is implemented in my thing because there's corruption and riots and looting everywhere. Well, there's corruption and riots and looting in the Joker movie too. There's corruption, and that's part of Gotham. That's again why you need a Batman. So I understand that, like, if you put it in there, but I just don't think that it's like something that's so crazy and just its own thing that you can say, well, it's not unique. It's not unique to just Chris Wozniak's pitch. Number 5, at 2 minutes and 2 minutes 9 seconds respectively, Mr. Wozniak alleges that the film copies his plot points. At the scene of a grisly homicide, the Batman finds a taunting note from the Riddler promising more murders to come, and the Riddler is reimagined as a lonely, morbid, gruesome serial killer and mass murderer. Their retort is Matt Reeves continually cited The Long Halloween as inspiration for the Riddler's character arc in his film. Again, is Jeff Loeb copying Mr. Wozniak? And when the Batman encounters the Riddler, even when he's encountering the silly, goofy, laughing Riddler, that's the whole point, is he finds a taunting note from the Riddler promising more of whatever to come, or like trying to lead him on a, wild goose chase or whatever. So again, it's not unique to Wozniak's thing. And yes, even though the Riddler is portrayed in different ways, again, The Long Halloween has been noted as the inspiration for Matt Reeves' film over and over again. The same point can be made for Mr. Wozniak's claim at 229 that the Batman and Jim Gordon must team up and use their combined detection skills to solve a distinctly horrific investigative thriller. And 240, with each gory serial killing comes a new riddle that puts the Batman through a trial that solves for the answer. Again, that's a Riddler story in general, that the Riddler will keep putting out riddles that Batman has to solve. Now, this one is a little bit more gruesome than a lot of others in the past. But again, it goes back to The Long Halloween. So there you go. Number 6, at 312, Mr. Wozniak alleges that the film copies a plot point, albeit the plot point itself is inconsistent. While home, Barbara Gordon receives a riddle that is booby-trapped as a firebomb. The Batman finds via a phone call that it's too late to save her. Alfred remains hospitalized for the rest of the story. Which is it, Barbara or Alfred? Chris claimed that at least in the interview with Syl last night, or the night before, that he claimed that what they did here was they combined it all and just made it Alfred, because there's a booby trap bomb and it puts Alfred in the hospital. So are we saying that we can't have a mail bomb and we can't have Alfred in the hospital? I understand that he's saying, "Oh, I wrote this. I made this a point in my film or in my pitch." But again, it's not something that's so distinct that it's impossible that anybody comes up with. And that was what kept hitting me in Syl's interview. Chris kept saying, "No, the probability that somebody else would write this kind of story is crazy. It would never happen." I don't, for me, and I'm interested to hear from you guys when we get to this. But I just, and if you guys see something here that you guys want to retort, please.
I mean, just a couple of things that are kind of weird. Like, does Chris have a copyright on the word chaos? I don't think so. The Long Halloween was actually made in the mid-90s, the comics. And it could be possible. That's not improbable. If he sent an email around, 96, or something. I can see that. But that comes into a whole other plethora of questions that I cannot answer because I am not a comic book reader. So I don't know what that is. Unless he posts something that details what this story treatment is. Like if he doesn't have like the email that he actually sent, this is going to be very hard legally to dispute. And maybe he realizes that and just wants to get a quick buck from it. And this is so weird. I almost regret asking what Batgate is. Or Batmangate.
Well, that's what he's calling it, is Batmangate. That they have taken his idea and that they're trying to hide the fact that they took his idea. Does anybody else have any thoughts before we move forward on what's been here so far?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's pretty much in a nutshell. I mean, you're gonna have people that's going to believe him. You have people that's not going to believe him, and that's fine. But now that I've been doing a little bit more research or whatever, even though what you were stating prior, about him trying to ask for that $3 million. Yeah, I mean, I believe him, but you don't ask the audience for $3 million unless you are trying to, unless he's stating something to, how should I say, use that money to either he's going to sue him, get some lawyers, get something so he can win something. But you don't ask people for $3 million. $3 million? No, bro.
Yeah.
You don't. No, I mean, I understand unless you're going to get a real top-notch lawyer where they retainers go for, shoot, if you get a real good lawyer, some lawyers retainers are like 5 stacks depending on who you get.
Sure.
Or maybe with 3 million, multiple lawyers.
Right.
Well, and if you have an open and shut case where Chris is trying to make it sound like he has, there will be definitely lawyers who would love to be part of a high profile case going after Warner Brothers and DC after something like this, especially with a movie as big as the Batman was last year.
Yeah, but he has to make that very crystal clear.
And
it sounds like I haven't seen the video, but it sounds like from what you guys are saying, he did not make that crystal clear at all.
In his mind, he seems to think that he has. From my opinion, and again, I see that there's people, I understand that there's people who are, like Prime said, who are going to believe him. There's people who are not going to believe him. Just for me, it doesn't. I am not convinced based on this kind of information that he has sold the idea that he was plagiarized, because most of these things that he's come up with have, like I said, been things that are randomly in Batman stories and have been for decades.
Is he asking for $3 million from like donations, or is this
donations?
Yes. He set up an Indiegogo, and he's got a Patreon, and he's asking people to give him $3 million, not to build a legal case and go after Warner Brothers, but just because that's how much he feels that he is deserved for his script.
Oh, well, then this is definitely a con job. What the fuck?
That don't make no sense.
This is definitely a grift.
Yeah.
I mean, he should be, if he really legitimately felt like this was like Warner Brothers and Reeves in particular, like ripped off his story to the point where he feels entitled to $3 million, he would sue for $3 million. Like that, like going around the legal process and trying to like get sympathies from fans to like donate $3 million to him.
Yeah.
I mean, that should raise every red flag possible to anyone who has even a crumb of sympathy for this dude.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And unless he makes it specific, like, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to take legal action. I'm going to sue them. I do need your help.
If he hasn't said any of that, then this is like an obvious con.
He actually on Sill's program, I watched all of Sill's interview with him.
I gotta check that out.
He basically just told everybody that he didn't want to get into because it was too hard to sue Warner Brothers, and that they would just exhaust him and just wear him out, and that he would never see anything for the rest of his life. And so he doesn't want to go down that route. He wants to go this route, and then that way fans can determine whether or not, they want to support. And look, I get it. People, can determine whether or not they want to support it or not. But I just look at it as, like what you just said, he's circumventing the legal system. So he's to me, it's playing on people's sympathies to go, look, Warner Brothers is bad, and they did these things. And look, Warner Brothers has got enough issues that, yes, Warner Brothers is bad, and DC has been bad, and I get that. And there's been other things where, like, it has been proven absolutely that they stole scripts or that they did these kind of things, right? But those were proven in a court of law. So when you're just trying to piggyback on that and go, well, they're bad, so you should support me because we all know that they're bad, right? So you're circumventing that. You're not having to prove evidence, and you're basically just stating, hey, this is how I feel. You should feel bad for me too, so give me the money. And that's just how it feels. And I hate to come out with that, because I think that maybe in his mind, it's either a big time grift, or it's really in his mind he feels that he pitched this thing. Mind you, they didn't ask for a plot, from him, because it's not even a script. It's not even a script. It is it is a pitch for a possible film, and he just randomly sent it to them. He did not. They didn't ask him for it. It wasn't a pay for play kind of thing. Like, it was literally just, hey, I'm going to send you my idea via email.
I mean, shit, for all we know, they could have stolen somebody else's script that had the same elements in it. Has he ever used like the specific language of plagiarism or anything like that?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, well, then he's just opening himself up to like a countersuit from WB for like libel. That's a serious charge in Hollywood for a writer. That's a very serious charge to throw at somebody, like plagiarism.
Yeah.
That's the kind of
thing you can't do that. I would say this
again. I will tell everybody, if you want to watch his videos on the subject where he goes through it line by line. That's what we're reading here is this website went through line by line with the different things that he said, and are saying why it's not. But if you want to watch Chris's video, I'm going to once again post his YouTube channel in the chat. And I would say, at another point, once this, when this video is done, go watch it. One of the videos is like 12 minutes, and one of there's like 8. It's about like 20 to 30 minutes, whatever total. But again, he says a lot of stuff, and he makes a lot of cases, for stuff, that he says, well, they did this, and I did this, and I said that in my pitch it was going to be this, and they did this. But again, it's like all kind of random Batman stuff that happens all the time, I mean, and so I don't know. Shall we continue with this list and get to
put it like this. Let's put it into perspective, because I think everybody's going to agree what I'm saying. It's like this. Look, I'm going to say it like this. From the actual him asking for the $3 million, he actually messed up his credibility. If he would have just said, like you said earlier, or everybody said earlier, now I'm thinking common sense wise, I believe that his script got taken away. I believe they probably mirrored it. They probably took it in some type of aspects. But let's put it like this: if you don't have no proof that you emailed the script, this is 32 some years ago.
Well, he's got proof that he emailed it, but he doesn't have proof that anybody saw it and nobody acknowledged it. Nobody emailed him back and said, "Hey, we got your your script, or your pitch, And he kept emailing it, by the way. He kept sending it in over the next decade and a half, continually sending it in, even changing up some stuff here and there, and then even changing the name of the title of the film, like the idea that he had for the film.
Right.
Kept changing it.
But all I'm saying is that just do a synopsis with it. He presented it, people can believe or not, but you presented it, you just got to have the facts. It's been 32 years ago, but you're making a campaign of funding for people to fund you $3 million. No, you don't do that. If your script in all heart of hearts, you believe it, you would have said, no, I'm going to need help so I can go ahead, so I can get this into court because Warner Brothers took my script. Can y'all help me to fund this? I will show you all the transcripts. I'll show you everything, and will put a light bulb in my head. Not only that, but I'm going to look at Seal's thing. And I know Enosh word for it. I ain't really have to go look at it, but I'm believing Enosh or what he's saying. If people are asking you questions and you cannot legitimately answer these questions, if you go around the question or you try to disregard the question in some type of way, that just shows your credibility is not going to be concrete because you're trying to avoid questions. So there's a lot of loopholes and everything pertaining to all this. So if his script was taken, I can believe his script was taken because there's a lot of people where their scripts do get taken, but at the same time, they don't have no proof that their script was taken. So I'll take it for what is word for what he's doing. But at the same time, did this
guy ever share his script? Did he ever post the entirety of the script?
So again, it's not a script. And he has shown excerpts from it on the YouTube video
And on Twitter,
and so and I can show you in a little bit. Like we can watch the video if you want. I mean, it's really, if we want to get that deep into it. If everybody would like me to play the video, let me know in the comment section, I guess. And
which one, the 13-minute one or the 8-minute?
I mean, we could take the 20 minutes, I guess, and watch, and so that everybody can be up to speed.
Oh my God!
I mean, and you can hear directly.
You read enough. It's like,
I mean, if it changes anybody's mind, obviously Prime, like I sent it to Prime read it, or watched it, and so he's seeing what it is. But I mean, for those of you who don't, I want you to be able to see it. But like, that's what I was saying. I wanted to go over this real quick and just do the breakdown, and then hey, if everybody wants to, but the weird thing about it is, in that video, he's like highlighted different things, and it almost looks like somebody who's obsessed. I mean, honestly, at some point, Enosh, you stole my idea for Poindexter Lounge. Curse you, Enosh! Thank you, H-Barts. I appreciate that, man. But you know what? You're wrong, and you're never gonna get it back. Just saying. No, but you know what? Seriously, it kind of reminds me of this. Like, he's got so many different things highlighted. Prime.
What the heck is this? Can you bring this up? Did you see this?
Justin, what is this thing you just shared? This tweet. What the fuck?
Yeah, this is of Chris Wozniak. He says Chris Wozniak has reported Michael Uslan and Matt Reeves to the FBI for intellectual property theft of his Batman story. There is no reason not to bring law enforcement into this.
Okay, now see, before he was saying that he wasn't going to... Hold on a second, hold on.
Is this actually his Twitter account?
This
yes,
is his,
August 9th.
Yeah, this is... Batmangate, this is his Twitter account. This is August 9th. Chris Wozniak has reported... third person. Chris Wozniak has reported...
I don't get it either.
Michael Uslan and Matt Reeves to the FBI for intellectual property theft of his Batman story. There is no reason not to bring law enforcement into this. Here's what's weird to me. You all know that I have been less than excited about the Batman. Okay.
Why is he adding Kevin Smith? I don't know.
Zack Snyder.
Ben Affleck? What?
No, Ben Affleck, I understand. What does Kevin
Why do you
Smith
understand
have to
that?
do with this? That's what got me.
What I'm finding is, though, a lot of and Prime. This is the interesting part about this. This is the interesting part about this. A lot of Snyder fans are.
Oh no!
A lot of Snyder fans.
Oh
well,
no!
I will say this: a lot of Snyder fans on a certain side of the fandom
They're entertaining.
They're entertaining this, and they're latching onto it because look, they don't like the Batman anyways. They don't like that the Batman exists anyways, and so like they want almost like anything and everything that they possibly can to kind of take down the Batman. You know what I mean?
It ain't gonna stick. So I ain't worried about that.
Yeah, no, me either. But let's yeah.
They want to kill the Batman.
Yes. Okay. So let's just finish out some more of these, and then we can decide where we want to go. At 7 minutes and 28 seconds, Mr. Wozniak alleges that the film copies the plot point: Gotham City is ready to explode. Even if a single prison guard learns of the Batman's true identity, all of Gotham will be lost. That's literally what he says. How many movies have we seen, or TV shows or whatever, where people are trying to figure out who Batman really is, his secret identity? Like, so the retort is both Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises deal with the citywide explosions. Did Christopher and Jonathan Nolan copy Mr. Wozniak? Well, examining Mr. Wozniak's allegations, a pattern emerges. If you believe Mr. Wozniak, you have to believe that Matt Reeves, Jeff Loeb, the late Tim Sale, publishing houses, video game developers, the Nolan brothers all conspired to plagiarize Mr. Wozniak's storyline. Okay.
Even you laughed at that.
Yeah, because come on. But not even that. You have to go back and believe that somehow people who
everything Everything I've heard about this so far is all super vague generalities. Does he have any examples of like specific like lines or like dialogue beats or anything?
Okay. So there's one thing coming up here that's kind of interesting. Okay. At 8:32, Mr. Wozniak alleges that the film copies his plot point. The method of retribution the Riddler chooses is a biblically inspired plague. He says that because there's a flood. Which nowhere in the Batman does it say anything about that it's biblically inspired, that the flood is like supposed to be like Noah's flood or something like that. It doesn't say that, and it's not a plague. And
flood is not a plague.
Yeah, and in the so there's that. Nowhere in the Batman does Reeves imply that the Riddler's motives are biblically inspired. His character arc is as an antagonist is purely agnostic, and I agree with that. At 9 minutes and 1 second, Mr. Wozniak alleges that the film copies his plot point. During the final battle with the Riddler, the Batman is incapacitated, having been slowly poisoned all along.
That's a third act thing. Like in every third act of like any kind of superhero drama, the hero will always be down or incapacitated or something to some degree because it's a play on the tension of, oh, he might lose this battle. That is so generic and like it applies to literally everything. Wrestling. It applies to wrestling.
Yes.
When Hulk Hogan is like in the choker, in the sleeper hold, and he raises his arm and he drops on one, and it drops on two, and on third, he's like, exactly. Like, I guess Hulk Hogan ripped this dude off too.
Wait, hold on. So we have actual like Hulk Hogan ripping off Wozniak for WrestleMania 1 here.
Oh, Roddy Piper. He was one of my favorites.
I love Roddy Piper, man.
R.I.P.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. But you're right. I mean, you're right. That's my thing is like I wanted to give this like the benefit, but again, that doesn't make sense. But okay, so it says this is similar to the premise in the video game Batman Arkham City, albeit the Joker poisons Batman with his Titan-infused blood. Add Rocksteady Studios to the list of people copying Mr. Wozniak's storyline. All right, this same premise can also be used to debunk the plot point at 9 minutes and 12 seconds. He lies helpless in need of the antidote. Because he said, well, in mine, Batman has been poisoned slowly, and so he needs the antidote. So that's basically what he was saying that
I will say
when the Batman pulls out the green fluid that makes no sense in the movie.
Exactly. I will say this. It is weird in that movie, and I thought it at the time, that Batman all of a sudden hits himself with some adrenaline. I've never seen that happen at any other kind of Batman movie. That was the one thing that I was like, what the hell just happened here? He just shot himself up with adrenaline, and now he's like raging on someone? That's the one thing I think is a little out of place.
Never mind.
But it's not so crazy that it's like that it couldn't be a plot point that somebody would hit themselves up, that a crime fighter would hit themselves up with adrenaline after being knocked on his back. I'm just saying.
It happened in Kick-Ass 2.
There you go. At 9 minutes and 33 seconds, Mr. Wozniak alleges that the film copies his plot point. Acknowledging the duality between them, the Batman tells the Riddler they're both in their own private hells. Throughout Batman lore, duality between Batman and various rogues is a recurring theme. Joker, Scarecrow, the Riddler are several examples of these rogues. Mr. Reeves is simply incorporating a theme used countless times. And I agree with that. Number 11, at 10 minutes.
Just as a quick aside, I think it's funny that breaking down all of these bullshit claims is also like exposing how derivative and unoriginal the Batman was as a movie.
Right?
It's like unintentionally trashing this movie. And it's like, oh, I love the Batman. But now I'm like, oh, maybe it was just really a lame movie after all.
Did you maybe like see my real intentions of reading all of these? Maybe
I didn't.
The secret
Yes,
genius.
yes, the secret. At 10 minutes and 11 seconds, Mr. Wozniak alleges that the film copies his plot point. The Joker, who is not seen or mentioned throughout the entire story, appears only at the very end as an unnamed mystery man.
But they filmed a scene with the Joker, and they deleted it.
Well, Chris Wozniak says that in his pitch, the Joker was to appear at the end, having not been seen or mentioned throughout the entire movie, and that like he is this like mystery villain, you know, at the end. But Christopher Nolan did this at the end of Batman Begins when Jim Gordon shows Batman a calling card, a Joker card. Is Christopher Nolan copying Mr. Wozniak? Well, it's repetitive. Well, it's a repetitive question. Being faithful to the source material, is not plagiarism. At 10:19, Mr. Wozniak alleges that the film copies his plot point, and we learn it was the Joker who secretly masterminded the Riddler's entire scheme by anonymously befriending and radicalizing him online. Reeves talked about Barry Keoghan's Joker and his role in the Batman to Variety. I said to Barry right from the beginning, look, I don't know where this is going to go. I can't promise that it'll even ever come back. I don't know. And I still feel that way now. I'm not sure exactly. How can a mastermind play such a minor role? We're not even, I mean, are we really even told that the Joker was the one who did that to the Riddler? That, I mean, isn't the whole point that the Riddler was brought up in an orphanage? He was treated wrong. He was, you know, all these things. And so, like, he did this, but, you know, in Wozniak's, I guess, he's, you know, befriended and radicalized by the Joker. So, okay. The conclusion that they come to is this. The facts, evidence, and Batman history speak for themselves. There is no credibility to Mr. Wozniak's allegations. Reeves uses Batman's lore as inspiration for his original screenplay, a screenplay he wrote without the influence of Mr. Uslan. Uslan is the person that Chris emailed this to. So, it says, if you believe his word, you have to believe that Matt Reeves, Jeff Loeb, the late Tim Sale, Christopher Nolan, Jonathan Nolan, Rocksteady Studios, publishing houses, Telltale Games all conspired to steal his work. Being faithful to the beloved source material is not plagiarism. It is good diligence. And then they cite all of their things. So,
there you have it. Very thorough.
Maybe that's the reason why he hasn't sought legal action, is because he is considered all these things.
Well, now apparently he's got the FBI involved.
You didn't know about that, did you?
I did not know about that. That
is that what kind of drives you a little bit, like that makes you go like, wow, this guy is probably a little ludicrous in his claims.
Well, you know what it makes me happy of, kind of, is that back on August 1st,
wait,
I didn't realize
he follows you?
Well, yes, he follows me, and I started following him because I did not know who he was back on. The funny thing is that this is so ironic, but Sunday night I was going back. Or, I'm sorry, not Sunday night, Monday, when I was going through to try to invite people to the show, you know, to be on the show. And there's a few people who aren't in my private group that I send out an invitation to. So I was going back through my Twitter feed, and on August 1st, I came across Chris Wozniak, and I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what the name was. I just remembered seeing it because I was thinking of, what's his name, from Apple, when he sent this to me.
Steve Wozniak.
Steve Wozniak, right? And so like...
That's what I thought when I saw his name, too.
Yeah. So the name popped out at me. The name popped out at me a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't think anything about it. And I just saw that they followed me or whatever. And he had DM'd me and was like, "Hey, did you see this?" And he sent me his original video. And I had not gotten a chance to watch it, but I had just answered back, "No, I haven't." And he didn't answer me. And so he had reached out to me about this. And I was just like, I don't, like, going back through, I was like, wait a second. that's Chris Wozniak. And so then I wanted to make sure, is it the real Chris Wozniak or was this something, whatever. But that was back on the 1st of August. And I went back through and I went, oh, okay. Yeah, apparently he reached out to me, but like I wasn't trying to ignore him, but it got buried under a bunch of other stuff, and I just didn't pursue it, to be honest with you. And now I'm really kind of glad that I didn't. I mean, I feel for the guy if he really feels that that they did this to him. You know what I mean? But I really feel like this is kind of taking it to an extreme to say this happened, because if I show you, and we won't watch the whole video because I don't see the point in watching the whole video.
Not at this point, no.
No, not at this point. I mean, look, everybody, go watch the video. Let him speak for himself to you. But you can find him at Full Blown Psychosis. But I just want to show you. It's very, very dramatic. It's very dramatic. He submitted it multiple times. That's Uzlan, executive producer.
The FBI now knows.
It never sold. So the basics. So he basically
Yeah,
said,
just as a quick aside, like if you submit your screenplay multiple times to any kind of studio and you get no response from it, like that is an indication like that you would be better served finding some other avenue to get your screenplay made. Like,
right.
If you hear nothing back from them, is you open yourself up. And the thing is, like, and with Batman, yeah, we can look at all of the character tropes and all the other things that previous Batman story arcs may have used in video games and movies and TV shows and stuff. And we could come to the conclusion that, oh, this is just general vague stuff that this guy, is trying to posit as his own work. But for anything that isn't based off of like an established IP like Batman, if you're submitting your screenplay over and over and over again, you're just and hearing nothing back each time, you're just opening yourself up to the possibility of having your screenplay ripped off by Hollywood, because they do that a lot. They do that a lot. Like, This is why whenever they have like those screenplay competitions, like, oh, we're going to do a competition of XYZ, submit your screenplay and maybe you'll win. Never do that shit, because all that's doing and the fine print on those tournaments or those competitions is like, as soon as you submit, we own all your shit. So they can just use it anyways, whether you win the tournament or not. Like,
and what I could go even further is that I like the whole idea of like my idea,
What? I think you muted yourself.
You muted yourself.
Did you mute yourself?
Sorry about that.
Warner Brothers, man, stealing your comment.
No. I just, I can relate to this because it was a school program that I was in, and one of our assignments was to pitch an idea to executives. I should have known to not give my really good idea. Let's just put it that way, because less than a year later, I see I see certain people making, and I know the guy's face. I want to punch it in the face every single time that I think about it, because it was an idea to pitch your idea. One of our assignments is to pitch your idea to these people and see how it goes. And it was the last one of the day, and I guess they heard a lot of them, and maybe they weren't so good. They were exhausted, but they were in love with it. And I should have I should not have pitched that one. It was a big fucking mistake. I should never have done it. One of, if not the only regret that I have in anything that I've done. And I've done a lot of stupid things, including on this channel and on and on my own. I've said a lot of dumb things. But that was the dumbest thing that I ever said in front of people, is to like actually give up your idea for an A.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. I mean, look, you gotta be careful, right? Listen, but see, okay, this is what I'm talking about though. Like, he has taken like parts of it and like scrapped out certain words and written in other words to make it like they took his thing, you know?
Yes, and the only reason, as I was saying earlier, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Enosh, but the only reason why they didn't copy my exact ideas because there were more ideas to expand upon it. I should have, at the very least, say, hey, you know what, you guys seem to like it. Let's work on it. You know, but you know, at the time, would they have worked with like some 22-year-old kid? No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't follow up.
Yeah.
If I had made those efforts, maybe it would have been a little bit different. But you know, if you don't submit your work to the WGA, which can be protected, I'm sorry, but it's not going to work if you just submit the script over and over and over again. You know, you are inviting it to be taken as Devin had said. It's just you could read it, not respond.
You have to submit things in the right way. Okay, it's just like even as a songwriter myself. If I was going to submit a song to a competition or whatever, I need to make sure that I am protected properly with the song that I wrote. I'm not just going to submit a song that's not been, you know, that's not gone to the proper channels to be copyright protected or whatever, because then you end up hearing your song later on. Here's something interesting. So it says the answer to the riddles when combined into a cipher reveal. His said, I N-O no. You are Wayne, W-A-N-E. That, like, supposedly the Riddler in his pitch figured out that he was Bruce Wayne. So he says it's the same thing because theirs says, I know the real you. Like,
now
one of Batman's villains figuring out that he's Bruce Wayne is not a unique and original idea. It's just not. It's not. With these superheroes, how many superhero movies, TV shows, whatever, have we seen the villain do this?
Batman is almost like Daredevil. Like, everybody knows who he is at this point.
So I'm saying, Marcus, hold on a second, guys. Marcus, please stop, okay?
Just
dude, stop messing with people. Don't make people feel uncomfortable. State your opinion and then move on. If you don't, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna time you out because we're not doing that. I don't want people feeling uncomfortable. So there you go. I'm sorry. By the way, 93 people here. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, hit the like button, people. It's free, damn it.
Heck yeah, let's get to 100 likes. Come on. We've done that a couple of times here in the last week. So let's get there again. Come on. If you would just hit that like button. All right. Yeah, so you can see here, like, it's just kind of weird that, like, he crosses stuff out, you know, and puts his own thing in, and it's just, I don't know, guys. It's just.
Well, I will say that it's kind of weird to have all these different ideas, which are vague ideas, but to combine it all into one script, I can understand that. To a certain extent, like, these individual ideas are not unique. However, having them all done in one script, as he claims, if it's true, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
I get the frustration, but at the same time, the tweet about the FBI thing, I'm sorry, that's what just made me just shake my head. Like, no.
Look, that's idiotic. I mean, let him do what he do. Now, because if you're gonna do stuff, you got to do stuff the right way.
Yeah,
right now,
and it seems like he has a pattern of behavior of doing it the way that you should not do. Like, if he recognized that when he saw it in the theater, he should have said it as soon as it came out, which I think he did pretty early on, like in April.
Well, here's something interesting. So this person here says, you've probably seen this, but Reeves kept a concurrent journal of all the research he did for the Batman and how he crafted the script. If there's one thing, look, he showed up at Fandom, man, just talking way too much, like going on and on and on and on and on and on and on, like for a half hour, like, like whatever. But he says there's no way anyone could say he stole anything.
Anything connected, I just wrote down.
Look, I mean,
basically, what the notebook is for me is a way to have a dialogue with myself, because otherwise I would just be saying these things and then I wouldn't remember anything. But if I write it down and then I keep revisiting it, I start having a kind of document that shows what I'm interested in and what things sort of struck a chord with me, and eventually a story starts to emerge.
And even with that,
I gave Bruce a notebook as well because I felt that he needed to have that kind of dialogue with himself. And I thought, wow, this is so Batman. I went back to 1939 and I just basically did a deep dive in the comics, and anything connected, I just wrote down.
Yeah, so I mean,
basically, what the notebook is for me.
So there you go.
Is
I mean,
a way to have a
yeah. Fourth 1000. That's a good point. That notebook is a good cover story for theft.
Great cover story.
I mean, it really. I mean, I can't deny that, but
hey, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, it's just it's weird. I get it. It's weird.
Chris invented Batman. I'm sorry. That was great. That was a great comment. That was.
I mean, maybe he did. We don't know that.
He went back in time.
I'm sorry. That was really good. You got a good laugh out of me.
Maybe I did invent Batman.
Kind of looks like Batman at this point.
So I don't know. Wait, look, when the story came up, I had a lot of people asking me. Jade says Bob Kane stole Chris's idea.
Like that's like a whole meta. Like, he's gonna be like, they stole the Big Mac from me. I created the Big Mac in 1982 when I decided to put 2 pieces of burgers in between 2 pieces of bread.
Right.
Like, it's just gonna be everything that ever existed. Like, the concept of a sandwich was stolen.
But mine has meat and cheese and lettuce and bread, and then another piece of meat and cheese and lettuce and bread with special sauce. Yours has meat, lettuce, cheese, onion, and bread.
Lord almighty.
So can I get my take on this?
Oh man.
Yes, Axel. Yes.
All right. So look, listen. Everything in the Batman and in Woz's script wasn't exactly.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Droga. It's called the Chris Mac. Not the big Chris, just the Chris Mac. Okay.
I like the Chris Mac
I was going to say the Mac Daddy, and then they called it the Big Mac, but that's better. That's a lot better. Good job.
You're welcome, Luke. Luke says thanks a lot. Now I'm hungry.
Oh my God, H-Mart, it's Detective Chris.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's a good one, Detective Chris.
Yes.
Okay, but in all seriousness.
All right, Draga.
All right,
okay.
So nothing in Woz's script or the Batman was really that original. Like, there wasn't that anything new in the Batman. Was there?
No.
Not really. Like,
the only difference about the movie was that where it started, because every single Batman movie that you basically had started off as an origin. You know,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
revisiting it. It just puts him right
What
in.
the hell is the
He's
Rock?
2 years in, so
Yeah.
I would say that. And then you
right.
took the Riddler, mashed him together with Calendar Man, made him serial killer, and
Yeah, he was a mix of the Zodiac, Jigsaw, and Doomcock. That's how I see it.
yeah. So I mean, I liked it. I mean, it was
Yeah, I
a
thought it
different
was
take.
cool.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I just wish he wore shades instead of red.
I feel I need to, after all of this, I need to reiterate the fact that I did like the Batman. I thought it was a cool movie. I thought it was good and fun, and like it had a lot of interesting visuals. Like it was visually appealing to me. Yes, I guess after the fact, in retrospect, when you comb through it with a fine-tooth comb, a lot of it was derivative of a lot of other Batman stories across a lot of other different types of media. Okay, I'll accept that. Maybe not the most original concept in the world, but I thought it was a cool movie. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
Okay. Before we move on, somebody very special just entered, and I'm interested. I'm wondering if he's heard what we've been talking about.
Is it the Zodiac?
I don't know if he has or not. Would you
Oh
say
God!
the Zodiac?
Oh God! Wait, is it?
No, ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Doomcock?
No, not Doomcock. All the way from his bedroom, right there.
Oh
Wait,
no!
hold, somewhere, right there, his bedroom. No, wait, right there.
Wait, does William live in your house?
No, William doesn't live in my house. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Lil Sus.
Yo,
Lil Sus,
Hey.
my son, Lil Sus.
what's up, everyone?
What's going on, Landon?
What's up?
Have you been listening to this, Landon?
No, but I saw that you were streaming. I saw that you were streaming, so I was like, I'm just gonna stop.
Lil Sus, ladies and gentlemen. No.
Right.
I was like, I thought you were being for real. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So Draga, do you have anything? Because I know you came in at the beginning, kind of stating that like you kind of believed him, like, or you were on his side on it.
I had beliefs that there was stuff to believe, but like, let's not say that there was nothing really original in that either. Like, cause like the whole corrupt cops and shit, and like, yeah, pretty much nothing was really original in that script. It was pretty basic and I gotta say mediocre.
Yeah.
I feel I need to reiterate that I liked the movie. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. I get that a lot of it is derivative, but it was still well made, competently made movie.
By the way, the Watcher, I don't even remember how we ended up calling him Little Sus. Oh, that's why, because Landon used to go around saying that's sus all the time, and I was just like, so I just started calling him
You were
Little
on
Sus.
vacation. You got really mad that I kept saying sus. It's like, I don't like that word.
Like,
and then ended
annoying.
up calling me sus.
Because I got kind of tired of hearing Jody from Jody's Corner say, like, stuff was sus all the time. I was like, whatever. Man.
On me.
Jody,
So you guys were
Right.
talking about the guy that
I'm
said he
sus
wrote the-
senior. Senior sus. Senior sus.
So you guys were talking about the guy that said he basically wrote the Batman.
Yeah. Well, did he pitch the same movie,
Pitched
basically?
the same movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, we were talking about it last night when we were going to do this until the Ezra Miller thing dropped, but Lane and I were talking about it. Yeah, it's an interesting story. I think that we did go through it pretty thorough. I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like I said, I'm not here to say that Chris is just trying to scam people or whatever. It's speaking of sus, it's kind of sus, right? It is kind of weird. Yeah, it's very suspect. It's kind of weird. But in the same token, I like Devin has said, I like the movie. It's not my favorite Batman movie. I've been very vocal about that and stating that the Batman is just I've seen it 3 times now. I don't feel like I got to rush to see it again. It's just kind of there. Even when watching Wozniak's film or Wozniak's video where he's got bits and parts from the movie in it, I was like, yeah, man. Oh my gosh, man, it's depressing. You know what I mean? I was just I don't feel like I have to run out to see it again, you know. And so I don't know, man. I hope that he's not just trying to get a payday on this, but honestly, there's a lot of circumstantial stuff there, and I really feel that if you really feel again that they stole your idea, that you can prove that you feel 100% about that, take them to court. I don't care how big Warner Brothers is.
Yeah.
I don't care how big DC is. You get the right attorney.
There are success stories. There are
Yes.
success stories of people who like can prove that their stories were ripped off and they won in court and got money for it. Like
Yeah.
it's not out of the norm.
I agree. So, yeah, but I don't think that you go to the fans and go, well, I want $3 million just because that's what I think I deserve for what I wrote.
He hasn't given enough proof yet. And like, if it was his script, then yeah, I'd like to see it. No pun intended.
Yeah, I just I don't know, man. I wish that I wish him the best. I hope that he figures out like what he's doing and what's going on with him. But at the same point, I just I don't buy it at this point. I don't think that it's credible. That he wrote something supposedly that was so different than anything else that you can definitively say Warner Brothers screwed him over. Warner Brothers has done enough screwing over the past few years and stuff that I get it, but at the same time, it just, man, yeah, no. So anybody with any final thoughts on that before we move on real quick?
Nope.
Okay.
Nah,
Anybody else?
I'm all good, man.
Okay, I think I'm
If
good
you
with that,
submit a script to a production studio and you hear nothing back from them, don't resubmit over and over again. Take it as they didn't see it, or maybe they saw it and dismissed it, and then try to find a way to make it on your own.
Yes, go through a different channel.
Do different avenue.
Different avenue.
It was a little harder in the
it's
90s.
good. Like, I wrote.
It's easier now.
It was borderline impossible in the 90s, but right now it is the easiest thing in the world compared to the 90s to find a way to make your movie.
Yeah.
Like,
and
I
that's
wrote
so easy to say.
and I'm glad I wasn't credited.
Hey, I was gonna ask you this, Enosh. Did you watch Sandman yet?
I have not. I have not had a chance to yet. No,
I watched the first two episodes.
It's on the list. It's on the list, and I need to get to it. And I just have not gotten to it yet.
Yeah, man, you need to watch it, man. You
I
gotta
plan
watch
on it. I definitely plan on it. Definitely plan on it. Fourth 1,000 here with a $5 super chat says, whatever became of that lawsuit from the woman who claimed WB stole Matrix from her, and Cameron stole Terminator from her?
Oh God.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's
and
a good
right,
one.
the
I never
watcher
heard
here
of
says, the watcher says, don't even send in a script without being paid, period. And like, if they didn't ask you for it,
that's a good point.
Just I mean, if you got to tell them something, just tell them, look, I've got a pitch. Try to, push forward, man, and try to get an appointment or something. I don't know, but yeah, that's probably a good idea, is to not just do that. Okay, so I got a couple of fun videos here to lead into our next topic, because last night we talked about Henry Cavill possibly going to the MCU, and we kind of said, I don't, I'll believe it if I see it, but whatever.
I'll tell Fourth, Sandman is not fairy tale, man. That's Sandman is nowhere near fairy tale. That's DC Vertigo, DC Black. If you don't know nothing about the Sandman and stuff really in DC, it's not fairy tale. Sandman deals more with the actual magic. It deals with the gods. It deals with religion. It deals with all that. So it ain't no. I've been reading Sandman. That ain't
he
no.
stole Robin after Chris went bird watching.
I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry.
I will also say on the Sandman front, like Sandman was a goth staple in my high school years. Like all the goth kids loved the hell out of Sandman and Preacher, like the DC Vertigo stuff, and it was good. And I love Neil Gaiman. I've read most of his books. Like they were good stuff. They were that was really good shit. Those Neil Gaiman books. And
wait, what goth kids did you hang around?
I hung around the weird artist goth kids, like the artistic goth kids.
Okay, like I get goth kids. Like when did?
Wait, your sound went out. You muted yourself again.
Yeah.
Hold on. That happens sometimes.
You gotta speak properly. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I know.
Sandman has the Crow vibe to it. Absolutely. That's why a lot of the goth kids liked it. Because
I haven't seen Sandman yet. I've heard it's like fantastic. But
It's fantastic.
I've only seen the first two, but it's great. It's on Netflix.
Netflix, okay.
How many episodes are out?
10. It's only 10. It's the first season.
Oh wait, all of them are out.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay, I might give it a watch.
That's why I say I binge watched it. You know,
Oh, right.
me and my lady, we binge watched it. We just binge watched it. You know what I mean? Well, it took what? What it took 3 days? 3 days? Yeah, we did 3 days. So we did 3. Yeah, I think we did 3 episodes, 3, and then 4 the last. Yeah, 3 days.
All right, Devin, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Am I okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm much better. Yeah. So I'm curious, like, what era did you? I say era like you're ancient or something. I'm sorry.
I'm ancient enough.
Like in the 80s, 90s. Like,
this
what
would
were
be
goth kids to you.
This would be like around between 96 and 2000.
You talking about Sandman?
Okay.
Just talking about the kids. Yeah, the kids that I hung out with who were into Sandman and Preacher and The Crow and basically
Marilyn
that, like
Monroe.
the Marilyn Manson.
Okay, Marilyn Manson.
For reasons.
Okay, because the goth kids to me were like the metalcore scene kids, as they were called. You know, it's the same kind of people, except I don't know how else to put it, but
wait, what year was this? What era was this?
This was late 2000s, early 2010s.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
I guess they were more flamboyant, but at a time where they were still in the closet.
Well, there was a transition period in goth, like in the early 2000s, about the time that I just kind of phased out of it, where it was kind of starting to get into the more metal type of era. There was a lot of, like, I remember in my senior year of high school, there was a whole lot of like Cold Chamber and Static X and like that sort of stuff that people were super into. That I was like, oh, well, this is cool, but like,
yeah, and then it turned into the Warped Tour.
Yes, yeah. And I like Warped Tour. I like Warped Tour, but it just wasn't quite my thing at that time.
Yeah, I went to one and it was fun, but you know, it was just it's just completely different universes. And you know, it was like pop culture, but it's like its own little bubble. It was a bubble.
Static X is not goth. Static X is industrial metal, which is goth enough.
Like 9 Inch Nails is goth.
Yeah, 9 Inch Nails or Gravity Kills or any of that shit.
I mean, I can understand, you know, Marilyn Manson being goth. Yeah, like that's like the face of that. But I don't know. I love talking about music. In case
me too. I'm sad that I'm not as into it as I used to be back in the day. But I mean, I was upset. I was the guy that everyone went to like, if they needed something new to listen to, I always had a suggestion for them.
Oh, gotcha. You were a Napster guy.
I got a friend. I got a friend.
No,
I got a friend named Mike.
Yes, but that dates me, and I don't like that.
I got a friend named Mike.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Mike Wazowski.
No, I got a friend named Mike who was like that. Like the guy like listened to so many weird bands that nobody had even heard of that like were underground stuff. He lived in New York, for a long time, did a lot of underground stuff and going to clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. So so moving along here, I do want to so I actually have a couple of videos that go along with our next with our final thing for the night. But I do want to say this. I just realized something, guys, and that is, do you know that Zack Snyder ripped me off for the perfect Mentos commercial?
What?
He sure did.
Maybe
Check it
you're
out.
the blueprint.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life, nothing gets to you. Staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life, fresh goes better with Mentos fresh. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
You know what? I was half expecting you to be singing it.
I could have. Yeah, that was on my TikTok. I put that up on my TikTok because I just.
Oh yes. And what did Zack say?
He didn't say anything.
He has. Imagine if he has a TikTok. That'd be nuts. That would make TikTok a whole lot more popular.
Well, you know what?
Look,
Look. Batman could still be this. Batman could still be this.
Did anyone even know what?
One has yellow skin and writes, a ballpoint banana. Right. 2. What people are always in a hurry? Russian people? Russians. Right again. Now, what would you say they mean? Banana, Russian. I've got it. Someone Russian is going to slip on a banana peel and break their neck. Precisely, Robin. The only possible meaning.
Still better detective work than in the movie The Batman. Sorry.
Something in the way.
You're welcome. And by the way, Jared, we actually went over 1,000 followers on TikTok. So thanks to everyone. If you're on TikTok, we're on TikTok, and now we can live stream on TikTok. So we're gonna start doing that as well. Okay, so now,
wait, like this show?
What? You know what? I probably won't do this show because I won't be able to unless I figure out a way to broadcast the entire show. Maybe I can do that though.
You can. There's a way to do it.
Yeah, I can do it. I know that I don't think that StreamYard allows yet for streaming to TikTok. Maybe it does. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out.
You could do clips, I imagine.
I already do clips. I'm talking about live stream.
Yeah, YouTube, TikTok has its own live streaming capacity. It would be interesting to know if.
Oh yeah, they definitely do.
I wonder if I can do this show over there though too. That'd be interesting.
It would have to be an exclusive. Maybe.
No, I don't know. I think that there's a way to put this through. As like a camp. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. H Bart's here with a $2 super chat. Says, Enosh, I sent you a clip. Can you play it? Maybe.
Zeno, I am the reddest red. Be careful. Tread lightly. Tread lightly around me.
What do you mean the reddest red?
He says TikTok is owned by communist China. Don't be a red. I am the reddest of all the reds. Be careful.
You're the communist of all commies?
I am so much of a communist that I'm actually a capitalist in disguise. Yeah, unwrap that one.
I don't even know what to say about that. This is
I don't know.
This is from H Bar. Whoops, hold on. Nope, that's the wrong one.
Me.
Hold on. Where is the one from? Okay, hold on. Come on, I got so many windows open. All right, this is from H Bart's. Where is it?
Wait, where'd Prime go?
That's not right. Prime.
While we're waiting, Lil Sus, what's the most embarrassing thing that your dad has ever done in front of you?
Most embarrassing thing.
Like embarrassed you in front of your friends.
Seriously, I hate it when that happens.
No, actually, not really.
Oh, lucky.
Oh, come on.
Maybe this?
It's not like.
Something's in my ass.
Oh God.
Thank you for that, H Barts. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's just awesome and great. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So I have here a couple of things to go into our next thing. So it is it's no secret that I'm looking forward to Black Adam. I've got all the figures here, man. Like I've got.
Well, I'm a little iffy still about Black Adam.
I got the McFarlane figures. Look right here. I got the Black Adam Hawk jet thing, right? So like, look. I'm
cool.
I'm hoping
You can send them
good.
to me, by the way. Yeah.
I'm hoping that it's good, okay? But some things have come out this week that Black Adam. It's the same anyways. The Rock and Black Adam, it's all going to be the same anyways, and that's my complaint. He's just The Rock, just being Black Adam again, and it actually made me agree with somebody that I don't normally agree with, and that's Philosophical Pickle. So I got a couple of videos here to show you guys, and then I would love to get your thoughts and your opinions on this. So the first one I will play. I played at the beginning though. This one's just a funny one, but here you go.
The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
I'm sorry. Who are you again? Black Adam.
I love that. I'm sorry, I love that. That makes me smile. Okay, and then there's this one.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then there's this one, but check this out.
Dwayne Johnson is massively overestimating the audience demand for a Black Adam movie. Of course, Shazam and Black Adam are known rivals in the comics, and the original plan for Shazam was to see these two go up against each other, with Black Adam as the film's main antagonist. But we now know it was Dwayne Johnson himself that insisted that these two remain separate, securing Black Adam his own solo film. In a recent interview, he said, when the first draft of the movie came to us, it was a combination of Black Adam and Shazam, two origin stories in one movie. But when I read that, I just knew in my gut, we can't make this movie like this. We would be doing Black Adam an incredible disservice. It would have been fine for Shazam having two origin stories converge in one movie, but not good for Black Adam. You know, after I read that statement, I had to kind of sit down and really process it for a minute. I understand the passion Johnson has had for this character. He's been attached to the role for over a decade. I mean, the ego coming off that statement. Imagine if any other actor said that about their comic book villain role.
I wish people would
When the
stop
first draft
talking
of the
about
movie
ego.
came to us, it was a combination of Green Goblin and Spider-Man. Two origin stories in one movie, Defoe said.
Yeah.
When I read that, I just knew in my gut, we can't make this movie like this. We would be doing Green Goblin an incredible disservice. It would have been fine for Spider-Man having two origin stories converge in one movie, but not good for Green Goblin. You see how ridiculous that sounds? That quote mixed with the news that Dwayne Johnson might be an advisor going forward for the DC universe. I just want to make sure like it's what audiences want to see, not just what The Rock wants to see.
That's a great point. However, his analogy with the Green Goblin is very inaccurate. I don't think that's a fair comparison. The Green Goblin is very much in the movies. I can't speak for the comics, but it could apply as well. A very clear antagonist with his own struggles. You know, if that wasn't the point of the first Spider-Man movie. Yeah, that's not a fair comparison at all.
Even if it was a fair comparison, I don't know if I agree or disagree with you, Justin. But even if it was a fair comparison, I don't care. Like if they made a Green Goblin movie, I'm sure it would be cool. We see a Venom movie. We have fucking Morbius for whatever reason. He has a movie. You know, like there are all sorts of villain
And now
movies.
we're gonna get Madam Web.
We're gonna get Madam Web and El Morte or whatever. Like there are all sorts of like
And no
villain
Morbid
movies.
time.
There are all sorts of like villain movies that could be cool and compelling and could actually serve to build a greater universe before they encounter like their main antagonist. Like if there was a Willem Dafoe led Green Goblin movie before he encountered Tobey Maguire in a Spider-Man movie,
Like if that came out in like 2003 or something, I
It could
think
have been
people would be
awesome.
on board with it.
Yeah, it would have been cool.
It would have
And
been ahead of its time.
Exactly. It would have been ahead of its time because that's
agree with
pretty
you on
much
that point,
the
yeah.
modus operandi of these comic book movies now. Like that's how they go now, right? So like
Okay.
and part of what really bothers me about like this backlash against The Rock is that people are really shitting on his passion for the project. I don't know shit about Black Adam. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know if I care. Like I just don't know if I do. But I appreciate his enthusiasm for it. Like he's been hyping the shit out of this movie.
I'm
for a
glad
while.
you said that. I'm glad you said that. And Drago, we'll come back to that thing that you just you had up there in a second.
All right,
But
yeah.
I'm glad that you said that because then there's this. And I hadn't really thought of it this way until I saw this, but check this out.
For God's sake, can the man try a little? He claims that this is his passion project.
Oh, I saw this.
He's been wanting to do this for almost
Yeah, I saw
20
this too.
years.
Which is-
He's all in. He
Fair
loves
point.
the character, and he wants to do him justice. But he can't even bother to look or sound different than any other movie he's in. Once again, he's just bald. Why? You're bald in every other movie over the past 15 years.
Anti-baldite
You couldn't
slander.
Put on a wig and try to look like Black Adam. You couldn't be bothered to put on prosthetic ears to look like him. Shit.
Yeah, they did
just
that for
CGI his
Namor.
ears and make him pointy. You couldn't be bothered to have an Egyptian accent. Black Adam has an Egyptian accent. And that's a pretty big part of his character, you know, since he came from Egypt. Not only is your representation of the character looking like shit, but you couldn't even be bothered to do the simple little things to at least look and sound like him. You just wanted to show up to set and play The Rock, like in every other movie where you just play The Rock. And now, all I will see is The Rock because you look like The Rock in cosplay. You don't look like Black Adam. You don't talk like Black Adam. You don't feel like Black Adam. So I'm not sure if he really loves the character, or if this is just some big vanity project where he gets to look more powerful than Superman.
So,
okay,
that's a good point. I mean, like, look, like right here. I mean, I've got the Black Adam action figure from the movie, right? Which is The Rock, obviously, and then I got this that subsequently just came out as well.
Oh yeah, I've seen that in stores.
Completely, you know, he's got the hair, he's got the ears and stuff. I actually have a third Black Adam figure that just came out a couple months ago too from McFarlane. McFarlane, strangely enough, has released 3 Black Adam figures now. That's interesting. But yeah, so now I got these 3, you know, Black Adam figures, and I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is. I just know that for me, I am excited about hearing. I'm excited about the Black Adam movie. Okay, I am excited about the Black Adam movie, and I want to see what he does. And I have said many times, if Dwayne Johnson was geared to play anybody, it's Black Adam. I really do believe that. But again, I kind of wish that he put a little bit more into it, cared a little bit more about the character maybe, and didn't quite like hype it up like that comment right there about how about Shazam. Shazam is the main character. He is not. Black Adam is the villain in Shazam's world. But Black Adam is not bigger or more over the top than Captain Marvel or Shazam, whatever you want to call him. And when I saw this, that where he says, yes, the original script had both Black Adam and Shazam, establishing their origin stories in one film. I fought hard for both characters. And the beginning, I have no problem with this. That he says, I fought hard for both characters, plus JSA, to have their own standalone films for the fans to enjoy and protect Black Adam's ruthless and extremely violent tone as we build it out. That I have no problem with. I think that's fine. If he just wanted to say, look, I wanted Shazam to have an origin, I wanted Black Adam to have an origin, and then we're going to bring them together, I think that's super cool.
Shazam v Black Adam?
Well, Black Adam is Shazam's villain, right? Did you know that?
I didn't, but now
That's-
knowing
that's-
that, is
that's-
that what they're gonna go with? And they're gonna call it? Are they gonna call it?
Shazam v Black Adam? I doubt it.
Yeah,
but
I'm just I'm
no, but
curious
my
about
point
that.
is but my point is like, so Black Adam is Shazam's villain, but Shazam, the whole point is Shazam is the character, Black Adam is the villain, and Black Adam is an interesting character when he's written well, and he's obviously a powerful character, but like when people like try to put him on the same tier as Superman, that's just not backed by the comics at all. There's literally comic panels where Superman is literally just like holding him back with his hand and just like he doesn't even care about Black Adam, okay? The only problem that I have with any of this stuff is what was just pointed out in Philosophical Pickle's video there, is that when you say something like, well, it would have been okay, or wasn't Pickles, it was the other video. It's okay to introduce two origins in Shazam's, because acting like Shazam isn't a big enough character to take up his whole movie, but Black Adam, his story needs to be told in one movie alone. Black Adam is not that much bigger of a character than Shazam. Shazam is the bigger character when written well, when done right. And I just feel that at this point, it's getting on my nerves. It's always gotten on my nerves. People who watch the channel, you know that I've made fun of it for a while, and I've done it lighthearted. But let's have a serious conversation about the fact that The Rock needs to just kind of like get off of this thing of acting like the Black Adam is somehow going to be the thing going forward, because he's not on par with Superman. I would love to see him take on Superman. But the thing is like, we all know who wins that fight. Black Adam ain't taking that, title away. You know what I mean?
I have a number of comments on this as someone who admittedly is not super familiar with Black Adam as a character.
Okay.
I don't know if it's necessarily important as far as like being comic book accurate. Like at this point in film development, when they're adapting comic books to movies, whether it's DC or Marvel, it really doesn't matter how accurate it is to the comics so long as it's entertaining. That's what I found, especially with the Marvel stuff. There's all sorts of Marvel shit that comes out that's not super accurate to like what the comics are, but nobody really cares because they're still like entertaining to watch. So I'm not super hung up on whether or not, Shazam is comic accurately power scaled to what Superman's level is. Obviously, Superman, being who he is always going to have his edge over basically anyone that isn't Doomsday, So I'm not super concerned about that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I get from all of this is I feel like that Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and I agree with that video that he kind of just plays himself in every movie. There are two movies that I like that he's in where he actually like does a thing, and that's the sequel to Get Shorty, which I think is called Be Cool, where I think he plays a gay character, flamboyantly one at that, and Southland Tales, which is a bizarre movie in and of itself. Those are two movies that he's been in that he's actually like expressed some range. Everything else, like he's basically The Rock. So I agree with that assessment, and that's a real criticism. Like, if somebody doesn't want to see that movie for that reason, totally understand it. But I get the sense that The Rock views this character much in the same way that retrospectively people view Iron Man in the MCU, and that Iron Man was never like the supreme anchor of Marvel Comics. He was a cool character in some respects. A B-lister, maybe even a C-lister in some times, to the X-Men or Spider-Man or even the Avengers proper or Captain America, whatever. But because the movies were done so well, and because the cinematic universe anchored itself to Iron Man in such a profound way, it managed to make that character mean more than maybe he would have if it was a direct one-to-one comic book translation. And I get the sense that The Rock is trying to do that. Like, he's trying to make Black Adam the DC Universe's Iron Man. And I don't think that's like, I don't think that's a bad idea. Not sure if it's a good idea. It just depends on what the execution of the movie is like. If it's a great movie, then sure, it'll be a good idea. If it's a bad movie, then it'll be an awful idea, and we'll find that out super fast. But I'm not gonna like. I don't feel comfortable trashing the movie before it comes out. Before we can.
I don't want to trash the movie. I don't want to trash the movie. What I'm trashing is the
his enthusiasm in it. I don't.
It's
think
it's not the enthusiasm though, dude. It's to me it's not.
Though?
But it's the attitude of like his thing is the important thing, not the other things around it. And the reality is, I get what you're saying, but like Black Adam isn't even he's not even a hero.
But he's an anti-hero.
He's an anti-hero at best. And okay, so Monkey Jeebus here says Superman can't fight Adam. Black Adam is magic based, but that's not true. Superman is vulnerable to magic, but it's not that Superman can't beat magic.
Mm-hmm.
Superman has many other attributes other than just his strength or whatever that he obviously has gone up against many magic-based characters, including
Superman
Black
is probably
Adam.
a better detective than the Batman from the Batman. Probably.
Well, I mean, he was young in that movie.
My point is that Superman has many things in his capacities. It's not just he has one. Look, people act like he's just one-sided because they remember Silver Age Superman, where all he did was punch everything. And that's not Superman. Superman is brilliant. He's a scientist. He's intellectual. He's got a super IQ, a super brain actually for figuring all this stuff out. Every time I see Superman punch his way out of something, I just go, that's lazy writing, because it shows somebody doesn't know about Superman. They don't know about what Superman is. I mean, what do you think Superman does in his Fortress of Solitude? He's literally conducting experiments, scientific experiments. He's literally like going out of his way to create things and create technologies for mankind. How often do you hear about that? Right? So the thing is like Superman can absolutely take on Black Adam, and has in the comics many times, and in cartoons even. And beating him easy.
You take issue with The Rock trying to put Black Adam on the same level as Superman.
I just take issue with him putting himself on this pedestal of acting like Shazam is like beneath Black Adam, which it's not.
I didn't get that sense that that's what he was saying. I thought what I got from it was, if we want to build out a robust universe, that instead we have like a cavalcade of characters who could be interesting in their own rights if handled properly with good writing and with good direction and with a good overarching vision, whoever's vision that may be. Like, we have access to this stable of characters. Let's figure out which characters, okay, we could put these guys in a movie, and okay, this character has the potential to be bigger than just one movie. Let's bring this person out of that movie and then like develop them in this other one, and then we can have a more robust lineup of films that we can merge into bigger properties later on down the line, which could help create an interconnected cinematic universe with characters that people have more attachment to because they watched them in other films. Like, that's the sense that I got from his statement there. Like, he didn't say like Shazam is lesser than Black Adam. What he said is, because like, and obviously he has a bias, I guess, because he's been a fan of Black Adam for a while. But what I got was, he is saying that because Black Adam is Shazam's, chief adversary, chief rival, let's put an origin story of him over here, and we could build up interest. We could introduce audiences to Black Adam over here, because, and I tweeted this, a couple weeks ago. Google Trends over the past 20 years, I think, of Black Adam, Google searches, and nobody is Google searching Black Adam not even after the movie was announced. And like one of the top Google searches for Black Adam was, quote, "Who is Black Adam?" You know, like people don't know who that dude is. Like it's just, and so like you can introduce him in that movie and have this whole thing where, you know, okay, he's and you're also introducing other characters like Hawkman and Dr. Fate and all that sort of stuff. And maybe these are characters that, you know, they got together in a boardroom and determined, okay, these aren't really necessarily characters who can stand on their own in like origin story movies right now. Maybe they can have independent movies later down the line after we introduce audiences to them. But right now, maybe they would serve a better purpose in a Black Adam movie or something, or maybe somebody else's movie even. You know, and they make those determinations because what they're trying to do, or what he's trying to do, is build out a more robust universe where 5-6 years down the line, people are familiar with Shazam, people are familiar with Black Adam, people are familiar with Dr. Fate and Hawkman, people are familiar with whoever else is introduced in these movies, and then they could start, you know, building out a more robust thing. Like, I never got the sense that it was like trashing Shazam. I always got the sense that he was trying to inject more volume into other characters that are related to Shazam, in a sense that, in a way that they could actually, you know, build off of later down the line. That's always been what I
hope that that's the point. I just feel like if that is the point, then there's a better way of going about it than saying stuff like the hierarchy in the DC universe is going to change.
Perhaps,
and just doing the typical wrestling. Like,
yeah, he's the wrestler.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that. You know, and Devin, I'm a huge wrestling fan, right? So like I get what he's doing. He's kind of trying to do the hype thing. What I don't understand though is if you're going to do all that hype thing, why are you calling out everybody else at Fandom or whatever? But you absolutely had the people from Shazam at Comic-Con, and you don't have any kind of stare down for the next movie. Like you don't do a in passing thing to be able to educate people about it.
David Sandberg hasn't even met The Rock.
Well, I'm just saying, like you don't have any kind of like moment to set up who Black Adam is in the Shazam universe, right? And when they wanted to put him in the first movie, well, that's not true, Axel, because The Rock is a producer on the Shazam movie. Like,
really?
Yeah, oh yeah. The Rock is absolutely
but
involved in the Shazam.
I heard that they haven't met each other. That's what I heard.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I would be surprised to hear that he's never met him or consulted with him, because like he's literally an executive producer on the Shazam film. Like the first one.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been one of those things where like
it could be, but like even from this discussion though, we see really RJ saying that's true.
Yeah,
that's weird though. That's weird though because The Rock getting ready to play Black Adam. Like, and even from these comments that, like, who did we just lose? Oh, that was Landon. That was Landon. Okay.
I was gonna ask him something.
That's weird. All right.
I was gonna ask what he thought of this, but
Simon's section here with a 999 super chat says, "Sorry, Enosh, if Superman truly had super intelligence, he would be a villain. Eventually, he will get bored trying to save the Earth. Give me Snyder's Superman, still smarter than the Batman." Well,
that's a very cynical take, but okay.
I don't think that he'd be a villain. I think the whole point about Superman is he is inherently good. He's had good instilled in him, and he cares. He cares for people. He cares for the people around him, and so I don't think that he would ever get bored trying to save the Earth. His whole point is that the whole point of Superman is it's a never-ending battle. That's the whole point. That's the tagline for one of Superman's taglines is the never-ending battle. Is that Superman gets up every day and knows that he has a fight on his hand to try to save the planet every single day, and that he's going to come up against stuff. But I will say, give me Snyder Superman, and I would agree with you that he's smarter than the Batman. Because I disagree with the idea that Batman is a great detective. I think that there's better detective work in Batman '89. But That's me. We've had that discussion like at length here. Fourth 1,000 with the $5 super chat says Black Adam from the writers of Undamaged, Rampage, Scoob, Alvin and the Chipmunks. I'm sold.
Really?
Hey, I never said it was going to be a great movie. I just said he was very good.
Come on. Oh, come on. Scoob? No.
I wasn't good.
No. That movie is an insult to Scooby-Doo fans, and also they moved it from Coolsville, Ohio, which is a big FU.
Well, nobody cares. Nobody cares about Ohio.
Oh,
nobody cares about Ohio.
Shut up.
Nobody cares about Ohio, Justin.
No, gosh.
Because there's nothing cool about Ohio. Why would Coolsville be in?
Nothing cool
in
about
Ohio?
Michigan either. Shut up.
Michigan's better. So RJ
But
RJ,
the point is that
RJ brings up a great point here, though.
You know what? I will say this just real quick. In the battle between Ohio and Michigan, I like Michigan. I think that they have. I like watching their football teams, their college teams play. Cool stuff. But I will say, the National has that song about Ohio that will always, and Hawthorne Heights as well. So I got to side with Ohio for those musical reasons.
I just want that rivalry to get back to the.
And OSU dominates, absolutely
right now.
dominates.
Yeah, I mean,
right
look,
now it's been like fucking 20 years they've been dominating them.
Well, it's been since the early 2000s. Yeah.
That's
which is
really
amazing
only...
because it shows you how one bad decision can spiral your program completely out of contention.
As a fan of the Texas Longhorns, I understand.
Yeah, that's really where the root cause of that is. And it's all in good fun. I've said for, I think it's been about a year, Enosh, that, you're one of the few Michiganders that I like. Something like that.
There you
it's
go.
all in good fun.
Absolutely, it's all in good
at
fun.
the end of the day, we can all shake hands and just, have a couple beers and just, enjoy everything else that doesn't involve OSU and Michigan.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. So here's some posters for my movie I printed out today. It's called Red Robin. I play Tim Drake in the movie. As you can see, it's me in the middle.
Awesome.
That's Anarchy. That's Nightwing, and that's Batman.
That's cool.
But
man.
and here's and we posted some printed out some character posters, and I've been working on this film for about a year or so. I'm 50 or 60% done with the movie. I just got to film 4 or something more scenes, and yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's awesome. I'm sorry that comment threw me for me.
Yeah,
that's awesome though. And also, by the way, you posted something on your Twitter, a picture of the X-Men that you drew, right?
Oh yeah, I drew that.
Yeah, that looks rad. I may contact you about getting a print of that.
Oh yeah, I need.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
So
do you have any?
Cool.
Is there gonna be any legal issues with the name Red Robin?
Red Robin with the rest
Red
of the hamburger
Robin.
place. But
yeah. No, I'm just saying, Red Robin, yum.
I've never had their burgers, but I really want to try one.
Oh, they're good.
Are they?
They're so good. Oh, dude, you get the bacon and egg burger. Oh my gosh, dude, you get bacon and it's you get an over easy egg on there.
Oh, okay. Oh, that sounds really good.
Oh, dude, it's
well,
good.
if it's
so good,
if it's not in Australia, then I think you're fine. Actually.
Yeah,
it's delicious.
Yeah. I was just asking.
Couple things here real quick. Ryan here with the $2 super chat says, as a fan of The Rock, I pray he does not do JSA dirty. Me too, because I think one of the great things that are coming up with this film is the fact that JSA is in it, and
especially Dr. Fate and
I'm interested definitely in seeing that and how that plays out. And then RJ here says, and this is a great point. RJ says, does anybody else get concerned that fans have put The Rock into a corner? The fans have put The Rock into a corner? and the company
Hold on.
into a
Put it
corner
in
where
Jody's corner.
they need to prioritize the Black Adam character in being more Superman's villain than Shazam. I don't think
I think
that
The Rock did that more than the fans.
The Rock did that, yeah, more than the fans, dude. I didn't read that part of your comment. I thought you were just going on. The Rock has been the one who came out with both barrels blazing at Fandom last year, challenging the entire freaking DCEU and talking about how he was coming for everybody and the hierarchy of power was going to change and all that stuff. That's all been The Rock, dude, and DC doing that. You know, but a lot can be said for the fact that everybody's more interested in seeing Black Adam fight Superman than Shazam.
Why not Shazam? Like, they're enemies.
Well, because I think it's the way that it was presented. I mean, I feel like the first Shazam movie probably should have had more that referenced Black Adam. They've got the one little thing that they got the one little thing that shows the outline of the Rock, you know, and that there was another champion, you know, whatever. But I feel like they should have gotten a little bit deeper into that, just so that people know, hey, that's who this character is. Now you're going to see his backstory. You're going to see Shazam, and then like you can expect those two to come together and, you know, and fight. But that was the whole. But also, you know, that was the whole thing. It's like, oh well, we've got another seat here, you know, at the table, right? Another seat at the Rock of Eternity, and that's for Black Adam. So, you know, because he's an anti-hero. So, you know, what are you going to do? You know, it's just...
I think maybe this is something that RJ has thought of as well, but most people who are going to go see this movie don't know that context at all. They just see The Rock as a superhero. That's it.
I mean, not only that, but like the Shazam movie almost kind of exists. If to me, maybe this is just me, but almost feels like it exists completely separately from other DC movies.
Yeah, it was.
Like, how does the jazz
God,
fit
I
in
could
there?
not tell you what happens in the last half. I do not remember it, but I remember the first half being just so engaging, and then I just was kind of like, okay, now it's going, and ugh. I didn't like the second half as much as the first half, but
Shazam is good though. I like it.
It's good, especially the first half. It is really good, very engaging. And then for somewhere in there, it just kind of lost me. But that's just me. But they're not going to be thinking of that. How this movie performs is irrelevant. They just see The Rock as a superhero. That's it. That's all they need. That's all they want. You know, so I don't think that question is going to be relevant to anybody who's going to go see this movie. I think we all forget, you know, most of us are nerds here, and I guess I'm the normie of the bunch, but I still have that perspective of, you know, like what is the general audience going to see? They're not gonna make the connection of Shazam at all. So
I mean, they'll like think of, oh, it's a lightning bolt.
Yeah, I mean, his costume does kind of looks like Shazam.
Yeah, it is pretty
That's the long and short of it, really.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what this has to do with the general conversation. You know what I have to say is, but I mean, is there any substance to that? Is this understandable? I don't know what it has to do with the comment of RJ at all, but like, I really don't think that it's gonna matter. I guess. Does that make sense? Am I mixing some things up, or
I don't know that.
Did I just stump everyone?
No, I agree.
I agree
I have
with
a
you
cat
that
that's kind of distracting me right now, but I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you that I think that you know, it's people are going to walk in. They don't really know who Black Adam is. This movie's going to have to introduce them into who the character is, why he's important, how he fits into the greater scheme of the DC universe. But let's be honest, a lot of people are just looking at it and going, "Oh, hey, The Rock's in a movie. He's in a superhero movie." and they'll surround him with a cast, which they have, right? I mean, a lot of people are excited for Hawkman. Let's be honest, right? I mean, that's what
The helmet looks a bit stupid, but yeah.
I don't know, man. This figure, dude. I got the.
I mean, in the movie, not the figure. I mean, I haven't seen it, but
I think maybe there should be more trailers that show more of Hawkman and Dr. Fate than Black Adam.
yeah.
I'm down for that, man.
And
because
Pepsi Man and Cyclone.
Well, yeah, I actually got.
What is
Yeah,
it? Why is this like cape thing like so low? I don't like that. I don't like that. That's
I mean, I think that I'm looking forward to seeing Dr. Fate in live action in a DC film for sure. But I mean, this Hawkman, I can't wait to pull this Hawkman out of the package, man. Because dude, that Hawkman is just killer. I mean, that as a figure and as a design.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The only thing I was a little concerned is I did read something that they, because a lot of times with Hawkman and Hawkgirl, their whole thing is they're regenerated, right? And there's a
reincarnated.
There's a reincarnated.
There's two versions of Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
There is, but apparently the idea was that they weren't going to use the reincarnation story because they thought it was too confusing for people.
I mean, yeah, I understand.
Give people the freaking benefit of the doubt, man, for God's sake. But no, okay, then there's what you like to call Pepsi Man.
Yeah, Pepsi Man. Oh,
that was almost He-Man.
Wait, that's Pepsi Man?
No, it's not Pepsi Man.
He's and Deadpool. Look at the eye.
Adam
like
Smasher.
the patches on his eyes. Like,
Adam Smasher.
That looks like the Duff Beer Man or something. With the
Duff
logo.
Man?
Yeah, the Duff Man and the logo. Yeah, with the nuclear. Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
what that kind of reminded me of. But
A watcher says, "Oh, he reincarnates. Don't worry about that." Okay.
I thought they were gonna do the reincarnation thing to tie into Black Adam's origin, maybe. Hello.
That would be cool. That would be cool, actually. That'd be really cool if they had known each other. You mean in the past?
Yeah, and also Dr. Fate's origin, because he does Dr. Fate, the helmet is named Naboo, and he was from he became the embodiment of the helmet centuries ago, and probably during that time as well. So I think they could have also tied that in.
Yeah. Yeah.
he names the helmet.
Well, the helmet is sentient.
Yeah, it's sentient. It's like
the guy is it almost drives him crazy. It almost drives him crazy, yeah, because the helmet is sentient and shows him the future. Dr. Fate knows basically people's fates. That he knows the future. He knows, their lives. So yeah. So that's what that's based on.
You know what? While looking at those action figures, I'm starting to understand kind of why you like all these comic books and wrestling. Like a little bit, because the second guy, who was the guy with the wings?
Hawkman.
Yeah. I could see that as what I could see him as a wrestler. It kind of has that look. I kind of like that.
What I don't like about Hawkman's look is that why is it red? Why does he have a red and gray color scheme on the costume? I thought it would just be I don't know, dark brown or something, or a bit of green or goldish. I don't know. That's just me.
I don't know. This was sent to me by Brother Webb, who was in the chat earlier. This was his poster, he said, for Batmangate. Batmangate, No More Lies. Chris Wozniak's unsold Batman plot. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
we've been over that.
But I saw that. So he tagged me in it. So thank you, Brothers Webb, for sending that. Yeah, look. Like I said, I'm excited about Black Adam. I want to see a good movie. That's what I want to see. I want to see a good film that makes sense, that introduces that character well into the DC universe, and also introduces the JSA. And and look, if you throw Henry Cavill in there, I'm along for the ride. I don't know that Henry Cavill.
I'm not holding my hopes up for that because yeah.
I keep hearing that he's done.
I don't know that he's done, but I don't know that he's in this film, to be honest with you. But yeah. So at the end of the day, I just want good DC stuff. And I also put that in the thumbnail for tonight. DC right now has a lot of chaos.
I feel like if you want good DC stuff, then you kind of want to. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? Hold on a second. The fuck? Come on, help me out here a little bit. Like, if you want good DC stuff, then you kind of want like The Rock to be correct in his assessment, because it seems like he's legitimately interested in building out a big, robust DC world. Like, this isn't just like he's promoting Black. Like, that's a part of what I got from like a lot of his wrestler kind of shit talking, right? Like, oh, the power shift, the power dynamic is going to change, and blah 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 blah. And he wants to fight Superman, etc., etc. Like, I get the sense that he's trying to wrestle promote his way into like creating a more robust DC universe. And I think if Black Adam is successful, and obviously, and I don't know if you guys talked about this or not before I came on this, like, it sounds like Ezra Miller is doing whatever steps he needs to do to make sure that the Flash movie can come out, and that, there can be marketing behind it, and that it can make as much money as it is poised to make if, people aren't turned away from, the whole debacle of his incidences. Like, if he can get past all of that, and Warner Brothers DC can get past all of that, it sounds like there might be a pathway forward to not just build out a robust. It's kind of like having your cake and eating it too. You can build out a robust DC universe. You can keep a lot of the Snyderverse stuff intact if the Flash can, maintain, long enough to release and be a financial success. With the Flash's success, you can keep a lot of whatever you can pull back of the Snyderverse casting. At least, Ben Affleck. I don't know about Henry Cavill. I kind of get the sense he's done too, but you never know. Things can always change. Like, there is an avenue forward to where all of these things can be possible for, and obviously, Robert Pattinson Batman's going to still happen. I know there's, stuff about how it hasn't been greenlit yet, but I don't think that means anything. And, the Joker is going to happen. I think there's an avenue to where the DC universe can somehow be all things to all DC fans and still put out quality content, if the stars happen to align correctly. And like, the first star that needs to align correctly is Black Adam being a good movie.
Yeah. I will say this. I will say this though. It matters. If Black Adam does end up taking on Superman, it matters what Superman he takes on. You
Why?
Can't because it matters, because you can't just throw in an unestablished Superman and go, "Hey, here's your Superman now," because because the hierarchy in DC does not change. Nothing changed. All that's you know what that's like, dude, Devin? It's like The Rock going on about who his opponent's going to be at WrestleMania, and he cuts promo after promo after promo about going up against this person, right? And like, that's what the hype is for. That's what everybody wants to see. That's the match everybody wants to see. And then come time for WrestleMania, that person does not walk down the aisle. It's somebody dressed up as that person. Then it becomes just
the janitor or something.
It just becomes a throwaway match then, because then you're like,
it's like an
okay,
MCU
it doesn't matter. It doesn't
and
matter.
I might upset a lot of DC fans in saying this statement, but Henry Cavill isn't Superman. He's just another actor who portrayed Superman. And like, there were many actors before him, and there will be many actors after him.
No, I get that.
If they do need to recast Superman because Cavill doesn't want to do it, then I don't have a doubt in my mind that there will be some establishment of that Superman before he encounters Black Adam.
Wait, Devin, if Henry Cavill isn't Superman, who in your eye is Superman?
Hell if I know, dude. Like, there's a guy that plays Superman on those CW show, and he's okay. Brandon Roth came back as Superman, and I didn't necessarily like him in Superman Returns, but he was all right on Superman or Superman and Lois. You know, whatever he was on.
Your Superman, correct me if I'm wrong, is Christopher Reeve.
No,
what about
I mean,
Ben
he
Affleck?
was a cool Superman.
Then nobody.
I mean,
What about Ben
not
Affleck?
nobody. Like, quite the opposite. Anybody. Like, there are a number of really talented actors in Hollywood who could take up that role and do a really awesome job of it. It could be the dude who played Jack Reacher, you know, and I loved that Jack Reacher show at Amazon.
Tom Cruise.
No, Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman.
No, I'm kidding.
You could have a really small Superman too if it's Tom Cruise. But, the Amazon
all jokes aside. No,
I mean,
you really don't think that that role can't. I mean, Christopher Reeve was very iconic in that role. You know, so it's interesting to me that you don't really see anybody in particular.
No, and maybe that's unique for me. Like,
Yeah.
Christopher Reeve was iconic in that role, but I'm not someone at all that's like, oh, that's Christopher Reeve is my Superman. Not at all. Not at all. If anything, and maybe this dates me as like being a millennial. Like, if anything, the Superman that I really liked was freaking Dean Cain, because I was a kid when that show came out. You know,
This is gonna be the Superman that Black Adam will fight, and it's gonna be epic. And oh shit,
Is it? Is that Dean Cain?
No,
that's
Ben
Ben
Affleck.
Affleck.
I'm kidding.
Dean Cain actually was a good Superman.
I liked him. I thought it, and I loved that show.
I know. There's people who hate his politics and they hate him and blah 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 blah. But you know what? Here's the thing. He was a great Superman, and I've met the guy, and the guy was absolutely stunningly awesome to me and my family. And you know what? Everybody can be pissed off if they want to, but you know what? The guy was super nice to me and my family, and it was an awesome experience. One of the best experiences I've ever had.
And he was also on Supergirl. Yeah. He played Supergirl's adopted father.
Yeah, and you know what? That's all it takes. That's all it takes. You know, especially when you're at all these conventions.
But again, that's all good, and yes, one day we will have another Superman. You know what I mean? Like I don't like Tyler Hoechlin as Superman. I don't even see him as Superman. To be honest with you, I feel like shut up about the costume, dude. That costume is trash, garbage, throw up. But no, I just look at it this way. Yeah, one day we'll get another Superman. You know, regardless, we're gonna get another Superman. The Rock has all these connections with Henry Cavill. The Rock does his thing, and at the point where The Rock tried to insert himself, or was inserted into this DC universe, whatever it ends up being, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, if he doesn't take on that Superman, it's just kind of like, I wouldn't say, I'm not going to say I'm not going to watch it. I'm just saying it does feel like just random person. It just feels like you know,
it's going to be Tom Holland. Yeah.
It just feels like a kind of a thrown together thing instead of like having some weight to it. And maybe it just feels like that now because you know, this is what it is. But the problem is if you introduce him into this universe, that's why I'm like all about like, look, if you're not going to continue with Henry Cavill as Superman, Ben Affleck as Batman, Gal Gadot's going to go away, you know, eventually.
I mean, he might not have a choice.
Just reboot the thing. I mean, if you reboot the thing, create a new Superman, just say that this thing is its own thing and it goes in its own, you know, maybe Black Adam is part of this new thing. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to it. Thankfully, that's not my
I wouldn't
pay
get rid of
scale.
Gal
That's
Gadot.
not my job, right? You know what I mean? Because I know what I would do.
It
But
all
you know,
depends on if Henry Cavill, you know, wants to cooperate. Everything that I hear, and I'm not saying that I have scoopers or have connections or anything like that. Just
what?
You know, based off of stuff that I read online. You know,
are you scooping now?
I'm scooping.
Devin?
This is the scoop.
Devin, you got the scoop. You got the scoop, Devin. Come on now. Come on, bring in the scoop.
That Henry Cavill wants to do it. Like at first, it was all about money. Like he wanted to get paid appropriately to what his new stature is. Having played Superman for several years, having taken on the mantle of The Witcher, which is a colossal IP worldwide. Like he wants, and of course Mission Impossible and all that other sort of stuff. Like I always got the sense that it was like a money issue. Like he wants more money. But from things that I've read recently, it sounds like it's not even that. Like I don't know if he had a bad experience with Warner Brothers filming these movies or not. But at this point, like it's either one of two things. Either he doesn't want to come back, or he is playing it so close to the vest that he wants his comeback to be spectacular.
Well,
one of those things.
But Devin, he's always talked about that he wants to be Superman. He's never backed down from the fact that I understand that, but dude, it's not just that for him though. It's not just that for him though, because he absolutely loves the character of Superman. His dog's name is Cal. I mean, he's truly invested in the character and has made it very clear that he wants to come back as Superman. So I don't know. When fans meet him, he's very pleasing about that. He's a great representation of what the character should be. He gets
maybe
it.
it's not.
I see, Devin. I'm of the mind that there's something else that's there behind the scenes that maybe the money plays a bit of it. But I feel like there's some kind of weird thing that we just don't even know yet.
Yeah, maybe it's
you know what I mean?
That's
maybe in the process of
maybe he
making
doesn't like working with WB or something. There's something else going on there.
Yeah,
sorry,
maybe it's something that we don't understand. Yes, but maybe in playing this role that he's always wanted to do his whole life isn't what he expected. Maybe the process of filmmaking wasn't what he expected. This is a childhood, from what you're saying, a dream of his, and we all wanted to be Superman. We all wanted to be that one superhero that we all saw in a movie or that we read in a comic book, and we just idolize that. And to be able to play that and to not have it meet up to your expectation can be heartbreaking. So maybe it has something to do with that.
Maybe H. Bart's here brings up a good point. I've also heard the creative control thing that he wants some creative control over because he has ideas for Superman. He has ideas of what the character should be, how the character should be portrayed going forward, and I guess
I will say this to his credit, given what I know of his input in the Witcher series, he does seem to have a really good grasp on characters that he takes on, their motivations, and particularly what fandoms want to see of that. So, all the positive things I have to say about that last Witcher season comes from his input, basically. So, if that's what he wants, I say give it to him. Like, he would probably do a better job than, a lot of writers, because if he is that into the character, then he probably knows a little bit more about it than a lot of writers who would just be, coming on for the paycheck.
All I will tell you
for the producers and for the executives to give up, because Superman is a colossal worldwide IP, and they are going to want to have their tentacles around every aspect of it, more so than Wonder Woman and Aquaman.
I will just tell you all this: if Black Adam crashes and burns and doesn't do what they want it to do, look for this scene in Shazam 3.
No.
I like it. That's funny.
All right, that's a great way to end the night, I think. Hey guys, awesome. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you, Devin. Thank you, Axel. Thank you, Justin. Thanks to CJH. Thanks to Prime. Who else was here?
Lil Sus, your son.
Lil Sus was here for a minute. Was there somebody else here? Was there for a second?
Yeah, he was. Your kid was
people in my
really
classroom.
Good. It seemed like he was really a good listener.
He is. I think he just popped in and he didn't. I don't know that he knew what we were talking about. So,
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. But from what I observed, he was just listening. Whether he was like tabbing out and just doing other things is not any of my business. But it does seem like he does listen a lot, which is
he does.
which
He's
is
a good
it reminds me a lot of me when I'm quiet. Not so much
There you go. There you go.
of what you see a lot where
There
I
you
just run my mouth and just won't shut up.
There you go.
But it's one of those admirable qualities that like you raised a good kid.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
Especially one who listens.
All three of my kids are like that, so I appreciate that. Kenneth, Kenneth, look, man, I appreciate your love for Tyler. I'll just say, I just don't like him at all. I don't like him as Superman. I don't see him as Superman. Like, I can't even say, like, I'm glad that you're positive and you say that, like, both, like everybody's, you like everybody. Like, I'll be honest with you. I don't like him. He's the only Superman that I do not like. He's the only.
He loves the suit, right?
He's the only person as Superman that I just don't like at all, and I can't lie about that. And I'm not trying to trash him. I just don't like him. I like the premise of his show. I just don't like his show.
Oh and I don't like his look.
I don't like his look. I don't like the way that he presents himself. I don't like his Lois. I don't like. There's just so much about that show that it hurts me. Look, Kenny knows, like, I'm a Superman fan at heart, right? Like that's my gig, man. I'm Superman, guy. And my problem with it is it kills me that there is a Superman show that is literally at 2 seasons. I got 3 episodes into the second season, and I have not watched the rest of the season. Not watched. I got 19 episodes of this Superman show sitting on my DVR right now because I don't have the heart to just go ahead and delete it, because I keep telling myself I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna finish it, and I just don't want to. Like, I will literally go back and watch old episodes of South Park or old episodes of Robot Chicken or Beavis and Butthead before I even look at it. It breaks my heart.
Watch Beavis and Butthead than that.
Hey, you know what? I love
Enosh. I feel like you need to do a tier listing of all the people who have portrayed Superman, both live action and animation, and just put them on a tier so we can see what you really think about all the Supermen.
Yeah, maybe if if that works out, all the different DC characters that have been portrayed on screen. There have been many of them. Make a little series out of it. It can be good for content for like regular.
I actually started a playlist.
Live streaming.
I actually started a playlist called Superman: What We Love About the Man of Steel, and we were just doing a bunch of different Superman videos, like about different things. I still have. The only reason I haven't done it is because when I do it, it's going to be written. It's going to be pieced together, and I gotta pull all the archive footage and everything. I've been saving up videos and stuff for it for a long time, and that is the idea that I want to make a video about the fact that Christopher Reeve would have loved to have been Zack Snyder's Superman.
Oh, that's gonna piss off so many
people.
Why would that piss off people?
Because people are gatekeepers, Justin, and people act like Christopher Reeve was the standard, and he was. Look, I love Christopher. I grew up with Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve was my Superman. Okay. But the problem is that Christopher Reeve was always upset with the fact that his Superman ended up being portrayed as silly and gimmicky and cheesy and kind of a comedic role. He wanted his Superman. Okay. He wanted his Superman to be. Christopher Reeve wanted his Superman to be taken seriously, and
he was an actor.
That's why. Yeah, Christopher Reeve was a Shakespearean actor and wanted his thing taken seriously, and that's why the idea for Superman 4, where Superman takes out nuclear weapons and stuff like that. That was Christopher Reeve's idea. They gave him some creative control. The problem was that they didn't give him final script approval, and the script that got written out of it ended up being horrible, and Canon Films ended up buying the rights from Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers didn't even distribute Superman 4. Canon Films got the movie, took the money that was supposed to, because Warner Brothers supplied some of the funding for it. They took the money that Warner Brothers supplied. They put that into Masters of the Universe, the movie with Dolph Lundgren. That's why that movie looks so good, but yet the script was still so bad on that movie even. I mean, look, it's a childhood movie that I love, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, but the thing is that Christopher Reeve was pissed about Superman 4 and how it turned out, because it had his name all over it, that it was his idea. And
it seemed like whatever bad reception would come from it, his name would be thrown under the bus.
And you can see bits and parts of it that people don't talk about. Superman 3, you have an actual evil Superman that comes about. You have a scene in Superman 3 where Superman is drunk sitting at a bar. Like, you know,
Superman 3 is a wild movie,
right? Can you imagine?
Drunk, he's evil, he's fucking. It's crazy. It's a crazy movie.
And what's
Chris Wozniak wrote the script for all the Superman movies.
Oh,
I give up.
Oh no!
Wozniak.
He strikes again.
Oh my gosh!
He's suing Richard Donner.
Posthumously,
long past, he's suing his estate. Oh,
Blake, you are absolutely 100% right. Says just finished season 3 of the Orville. I can't believe how good this show is. They incorporate real life issues and make it work within the story being told.
Oh man,
absolutely,
don't
brother.
even get me
so
started.
weird. Like, I loved the first couple seasons of the Orville or especially the first one, because of the time that it came out. The only thing happening in Star Trek was the first season of Discovery, which I didn't like. I didn't like that first season of Discovery. So, like, I like the Orville because it was like, oh, this feels more comfortable to me. But now there is so much good Star Trek shit happening. Well, some better than others, but there's a lot of decent Star Trek shit happening that I tried watching that new season of the Orville, and it just felt dated to me. Like,
really?
Yeah, I was surprised by it too. Like, I didn't realize.
What's considered good Star Trek that's come out recently? Because I'm not even a fan of Star Trek, but I tried to watch one episode of Discovery, and
you gave the entire series one episode.
Yeah.
Which episode was it?
Episode 1
of the first season.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't like the first season. That's why I liked the Orville when it came out.
And I also tried to watch the original series with the original pilot, and I couldn't stand that either.
We don't need to talk about that. We'll get into a fight if we talk about that.
I couldn't stand it, and there's too much of it. It's like I'm entering a fandom where it's like if you just entered Marvel for the first time and you're like, wait, I have to watch 24, 25, 6, 7, 27 films, and I have to watch like 4 series. Oh god,
I get that because admittedly, I'm just watching Deep Space Nine for the first time. There's a lot to take on. I liked the last couple of seasons of Discovery. I thought they were really good.
Yeah, and when those first impressions are awful,
yeah, it's tough when the first impressions are awful. I would say don't give up on it just yet, but I understand where you're coming from with that first season of Discovery. But I really like the last couple seasons of Discovery. I like Strange New Worlds. Picard is hit or miss, but the last episode of that season 2 of Picard makes up for so much shit, especially if you watch Star Trek TNG, The Next Generation.
Yes.
Like, it's one of the best episodes of television I've ever seen. So, like, there is a lot of really great stuff happening with Star Trek that, to me, just kind of rendered the Orville obsolete feeling.
So our
that doesn't equal to 100%.
Our poll tonight: do you believe Chris Wozniak's script was stolen? 74% of you said no. 25% of you said yes, and the poll was complete with 110
What's that
votes.
other 1%?
It's 99%. I don't know. That's Chris.
Stole that 1%.
There we go.
1%. Chris was the 1% of people who just doesn't know. And Laser Luke says Chris Wozniak made the first season of Orville, and it's trash.
Oh, come on.
I liked the first season of Orville. I liked it.
Look, I will tell you this. That
Hey, Marcus.
I've
Marcus. No.
No, but that first season of the first episode of season 3 of Orville really slapped me in the face with how it really did.
Orville is amazing.
I mean,
there's
really
no
is.
reason why that show should be so good.
Wait, so
is it
Star Trek canon, or is that just?
No. It's Orville's not Star Trek.
I mean, there's a very specific reason as to why that first episode.
The Orville's not Star Trek. It's its own thing. It just borrows from a lot of ideas that Star Trek had. But the thing is that I told Tiffany this after finishing season 3. I said, a show that started off as a comedic send-up kind of take on Star Trek The Next Generation, written, produced, and made by Seth MacFarlane, has no business being so good as this show has become socially. Just like I absolutely agree with what with what Blake said. The show it's got me fully engaged. The topics that it covers are amazing, and you know what I love about it? It will tackle something that's a real hot button, political issue or social rights issue or whatever, but it doesn't tell you what to think. It literally presents it and says, "Here's the thing," and just when you think like I stand on this moral high ground, it goes, "But what about this idea?"
Yeah,
and you go,
"Yeah,
oh, well, yeah, but take a good look at yourself now." Right?
Yeah,
And the
whether
world around
you're
you.
on one side or the other, and it presents both of those sides
Yes.
almost equally.
Yes, and I loved it, especially given the fact of like you would think that, especially because of Seth MacFarlane being very left wing, that like it would like harbor
No.
that. But that's what I love about Seth MacFarlane is Seth MacFarlane presents all the stuff. Even on Family Guy, it's like that. Like even on like a lot of his shows, like he presents every aspect of everything, and I appreciate shows that do that. That don't try to give me just one side or the other, but give me a little bit of everything. And because I think somewhere in the middle is where we end up finding.
It's so funny that South Park and Family Guy like hate each other, but they do the same thing.
They do. Did anybody real quick, and then we got to go. But did anybody see the South Park 25th anniversary music thing this last weekend?
No, that was performed at the Red Rock Theater.
Yes, there was at Red Rocks. Amazing.
Those tickets were offensively expensive.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
For good reason.
But did you see who was there? Primus is there. The guys from South Park were there.
No.
Rush was there. Rush was there, dude.
So Neil
Didn't their
and
drummer
Geddy
die?
Lee?
No, Neil Peart wasn't there, obviously.
So Geddy Lee was there.
Yes.
I couldn't
And
remember
Neil
if
Sean
the drummer died or not.
Geddy Lee was there, and Neil Sean was there.
Were they performing a song together?
Yes, they did Wait, hold on. No,
They
they
did
did closer. No, they did Closer to the Heart.
Great song.
Because they surprised what's his name? Not Trey.
Matt
Stone?
Matt.
Matt Jarbo.
Matt Stone. They surprised Matt Stone for his birthday with that.
Cool. That's very
because
cool.
because first they did the song Blame Canada, because basically the premise was they did like all their big songs from the 25 years history of the show and stuff that they did. So they did America F Yeah from America Team World Police or whatever. They did all those songs, but then they had this whole thing where they did Blame Canada, and then they had a whole animated thing made up of those guys from Rush saying that like they didn't think that was cool, that they needed to come out and do something. So they came out, and then the guys from Ween were there. There was dude, that whole thing.
Is it on YouTube? Can I see it?
I'm sure there's clips at least on YouTube, but it's on I think it's on Comedy Central's thing, and yeah, dude.
Oh, I can see it all for free. That's
Dude,
fucking
it was, yeah,
awesome.
I'm sure they'll replay it on Comedy Central at some point. Yeah, you got to be able to find it someplace. But I recorded it because I was just like, oh, this is so awesome, and it was really great. And I'll tell you what, it shows me that Matt Stone is an amazing musician. He plays several instruments during the night. I mean, he plays drums and ukulele and guitar and keyboard and bass, and Trey plays piano. And I mean, dude, it was really, really good, and it was really cool too to see Les Claypool doing his thing, man. And and he even talked about when Rush came out, because he played while Rush was playing, and he's just like this was a cool moment for me. So the last thing of the night, Todd Fair with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Todd. Says, Enosh, you always say Zack Snyder should go to the MCU. When do you think it will happen? I think that's you, Todd. Are you in an alternate universe, buddy? Because I think that's you. I think that's you. But I just don't see Zack Snyder going to the MCU. I don't see that ever happening. I think that there's properties that he obviously, MCU properties, or I should say Marvel properties, that he appreciates and enjoys, and characters and stuff like that. But I feel that he will stick to his
Rebel Moon stuff.
Unless they say, hey, Kevin, $200 or $300 million, do whatever you want.
Yeah, you never know.
Oh, Kevin Feige. I thought you were talking about.
Okay.
No, of course, Kevin Feige. What,
I know you are, buddy.
What other Kevin did you think I was talking about?
But yeah, Todd, contact me again though, man, and I'll get you the cereal box sent out. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Devin, where can people find you, sir?
Right here. Simple as. Just go right there.
Right there.
Hit that subscribe.
Right there.
Yes.
Axel, do you have a channel yet?
Yeah. It's called Droga52. Yeah, you can find me there. You can find me on Twitter by Axel R. Droga, and yeah, follow me there.
There you go. And Justin Proper has a channel.
Yeah, yes, I do. And you've been on it, and it was fun.
I have.
And This Week in Bullshit is going to be Thursdays. This Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a lot of fun. But in the meantime, look up the video. I jumped out of a plane because I just saw a mutual friend had a video where they were skydiving. I also have that. You can watch that as well. Just to mix it up a little bit. I'm sorry, it's random, but I was just thinking about this today. I was tagged in a post on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this guy is like going skydiving for the first time." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I did that too." You should watch both of them. It's a very exhilarating experience.
I do want to also say I probably should have shared this at the beginning. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta open. Never mind.
I have one more thing I want to plug. It is it's my grandfather's birthday. He turned 79 today, and we had a video. Grandparents react to Cecil being Cecil Says, and it's probably the best video I have made on the channel. So go ahead and watch that, even though I won't make any money on it. I don't give a shit. It is a time capsule of my experience with my grandparents, my grandmother, who's no longer with us. It's still, I look back on it, and it's so funny, it's so endearing, and it's just a good time. It's you get to see the dynamic of a couple who've been together for 50 years that are sick of each other in a way, and bond over a movie that's older than they are. So happy birthday, Papa. And go, if there's any one video that you check out, go check out that one.
There you
So
go.
I'm sorry that was a little longer than I expected.
Nope,
but-
you're good.
No,
You're
I
good.
don't know.
Also, along the Shazam line, it's really cool. Our good friend Cylon Scotty was in Las Vegas this last weekend, and he actually got to meet the actual Rock of Eternity.
Oh my god.
So you can see Cylon there with a peace sign there, actually meeting one of the oldest things known to time and space, right there.
Right
in front of the
he
sci-fi center.
caused the Big Bang, probably.
He caused the Big Bang.
No, he was
William
the Big
farted and caused the Big Bang. There you go. I will leave you with this. As you all know, our good friends at Bully Sticks, bullysticksdirect.com. Go visit them for some good treats for your doggies. And I'll leave you with some of what I've been doing for them. Just find Bully Sticks Direct here on YouTube, and then also on TikTok. But I want to share with you guys some of the cutest things I think that you'll ever see right here. Here we go. Wrestling fans, here you go.
Oh. Stone Cold! Stone Cold! Wait a minute! Look out! Oh my God!
Oh.
My God, I don't believe it! I don't either! My God, I don't believe it! That look of disbelief on the face of the Undertaker has turned into a look of rage! Tombstone! This is great! This is awesome! It is electrifying! It is... There's the Rock! No, look out! Look out! No. Oh my goodness!
Just stares him down.
Check out here! Rock bottom! Rock bottom! Oh God! No! Friday Night SmackDown!
Bully Sticks Direct.
So,
I mean, kudos to that tiny little dog for defending.
that's Marty McFly. That's my dog, Marty McFly.
Oh, that's your dog.
Those are all my dogs. Yes.
With
that's-
Marty McFly wrestling.
Oh yes.
Wait, you named the little one Marty McFly because Michael J. Fox is like 5'2", 5'3".
Yeah, kind of just because Tiffany loves Back to the Future. We also had this one. We actually take him to church with us every Sunday because my grandma had a little Shih Tzu named Rocky that everybody knows we had Rocky up until a couple months ago. That's why we got Marty, and so Rocky was like the church dog. That was my grandma's dog, and he went to church every Sunday with her. He was a therapy dog. My grandma had actually put him, got him certified or whatever. So everybody would just like pet him and hold him and stuff. And so when he passed, everybody was like, "You're gonna get another dog, right?" And so we got little Marty, and so now he is the church dog. And so we were just trying to leave on Sunday, and he would not like stop. He just kept going. Like he wouldn't let us pick him up. So I pulled out the phone and I just started recording because I'm doing YouTube. I'm handling the YouTube and the TikTok videos for Bully Sticks, and so it's all featuring my dogs now, and it's just
that warms my heart.
It does, man.
Did Marty get to meet Rocky?
No. Yep, there you go. So
Who's the other dog? Like the one on the right?
That's Harley Quinn in this video.
Oh.
But my other dog, Wookie, he's the star of his own series on the thing, which is
Star of his own wars,
which is telling jokes to dogs. I think it's one.
Jokes to dogs with Wookie. Part 2.
Right, Wookie. What was the little Scottish dog's reaction when he saw the Loch Ness Monster? Oh, come on. This is his personality,
He was
too.
terrified.
Which dog breed loves to live in the Big Apple?
A New Yorkie. Hey, Wolf.
Shut up.
I recently planted a pet tree It's just like a pet dog, except the bark is quieter. All right, here you go.
He's very apprehensive of everything.
I don't like what you said, but I think I like
Apprehensive, but still interested.
Exactly. So you can find all of them.
I like that.
You can find all of them on the Bully Sticks YouTube page and the TikTok. And if you go to bullysticksdirect.com and you buy something, use code Poindexter for 10% off all your purchases. So, all right, guys, thanks for being here. I had a lot of fun with y'all, and we're just avoiding getting to that 4-hour mark, because that 4-hour mark things get really, really weird. But,
well, it happens.
All right.
If they haven't already.
Good night.
And Chris, I hope the best for you, man. I hope you figure out what it is that you want out of everything. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, don't let anybody tell you that your fandom doesn't matter, and don't tell anybody that their fandom doesn't matter, but seek to have good conversations and treat everybody with respect. And as long as you do that, there'll always be a place for you here in the Poindexter Lounge. We will go out seeing also another Batman script that Chris wrote. Until next time, bye-bye.
You know, Robin, quite often people choke on a piece of food they're eating.
Right. What can you do for them?
Well, if I were choking, you'd stand behind me, wrap your arms around my waist, then make a fist with one of your hands and put it against my abdomen with your thumb against my body, slightly below my rib cage. Grab your fist and press in and upward. You might have to press and push up more than once. Try it again. It's important to get it right. Someone's life may depend on it.
Thanks, Chris. 3 million. 3 million. 3 million. Bye.
That's pretty good, man.